my mind away is that it was very
Connecting,
natural for me
yeah,
to pick it up.
let's
So it was
go,
quite fun.
mic
That's
check,
cool, and all the
camera check.
skins in XP, your account
Everything
transfers
transfers
over.
over.
But for the PC players,
Let's
no
go.
crossplay.
Tonight
You don't
is
have to worry about
going
playing
very
against
fucking
anyone with
awesome.
aim.
You don't have to play against Golden Boy, because he will.
That would be scary.
Guys, I'm just gonna be real with y'all.
Okay, so here's the thing. Tonight is going very fucked up, guys. So mark the words, like G2 versus by like Leviathan. Like it's awesome. Tonight is going very fucking crazy. So probably I really didn't even know if someone joins me or else not. But if you just enjoy me, if you just want crazy moments, please don't miss this grand final. You can learn a lot of things from the competitive matches. More and more thing was so important. How are they playing style? Like Tariq is in there. I was so fucking up. Tariq is there. Tariq is going live right now. We are waiting for it. We still have more. 44 minutes to be a start at G2 versus Leviathan. So we still wait for and do a lot of things for a minute. So let's go. Let's go. YouTube studio video. Copyright. Okay, bro. No worries, we can solve the copyright for it. So probably. Oh, G2 win today? No, they are not gonna win today, bro. Probably they're not gonna. Bro, I'm alive, but my streaming it's not showing up. What the hell? Follow me there. Is it working? Is it working? Yo, he was here. He was here. He was here. Hell. What is he doing? What is he doing?
Lady night over rice, which is falafel over rice. So let's get into it. What would you guys like?
Can I get the chicken and rice?
What is it called though?
Oh, the Tarek.
Okay, I got you. Okay, so here's your plate. I have a mic here, so it's a little tricky. We got your white sauce, your utensils. You can get to pick hot sauce or I think that was green chili pepper. Green chili, something like that. So you can have both of them because I like you. And that's for you. What's your name?
Eric.
Is it your first gaming event?
Yes, it is.
Sweet. Thank you for coming out, man. Enjoy. Thank you. Nice to meet you. And we're on to the next. What do you guys like?
Can I have the radio night over rice?
Yeah, I got you. Not a fan of the Tarek. It's okay. Everyone is. I'm kidding. Your reading over rice, your white sauce, your utensils. It's my first time actually working out of a food station here, so I'm sorry for my lack of speed. But what's your name?
Courtney.
Do you play Valorant?
I do, but
I don't wanna.
my fiance is a big fan of you.
Your fiance's a big fan? I see. So you're kind of tagging along. So he's the gamer in the house. I got you. It's great to meet you guys.
Great to meet you.
Sweet. And yeah, that's the food station here. So the fans are, I think it's actually free food, so it's actually kind of sick. So I hope you guys enjoy. And next time, we're going to have even more better things. So back to you in the studio.
All I'm gonna say is you out there handing out some halal food to the homies. I mean, I want some chicken over rice.
Dude, he doesn't even know your name.
He definitely doesn't. He does. I mean, listen. That being said, though, that all looks delicious, and I want it in my stomach. Also, I'm hungry, so that's also my problem.
Go outside. We've got food trucks.
I'm working, Ender.
Okay,
All right. Well, here's the deal. The Americas region is stacked with talent, and right now we're going to recognize the best of the best. So we figured we'd create the America's Super Team.
Okay.
I love it. And here's the thing. This is my team, okay?
This is
we
your
didn't
team?
do this together. This is my team, and I'm
You're
always
the
right.
arbiter of superness.
Yes,
All right.
exactly. And my pitch is
Okay.
basically, if I was going to build a team to win champions this year and still, poaching is legal, this is my team. I am starting with Valen.
Okay.
This guy, the absolute
course.
goat. He is so, if you just look at performance in the Smokes role, this guy is top of the line. This guy is consistently top fragging on G2, even over the likes of Leaf, which is absolutely insane. But not to mention, he is just the best IGL we have in Americas right now, hands down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have an argument with that. I think the other players you can maybe put in conversation, a Jonky T, maybe a King, but I feel like just the calling he's been putting up on top of the individual performance makes him a pretty clear choice here. And also what he's done for talent development and bringing up new players. I think he's a good person to build around.
Yeah, from Ascension to now. My second one, Usboss. Speaking of talent, and try to argue with that. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
There's no duelist that comes close.
Second?
Nope.
Okay.
Look,
47.
honestly,
Bro, he
you
was
make
so
a great
amazing.
case here,
What
and the case
the
is
hell?
Ospas. That's all you
He
have
was
to
so
say. You don't really
amazing
have
at
to
the
say
pole.
much else because the
Okay,
guy is
maybe
unreal.
something more
Yeah,
contentious.
yeah,
then.
yeah, yeah.
I'm very
From
happy
Olivia
thus far.
Taz.
It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I'm super
Give us some
super
meat on the
happy.
bone. Give us some
This
meat on the
person
bone.
was so
Next up,
fucking
I'm going to
amazing.
double up on G2, and I'm going with Leaf. For Sentinel, I think that he has been the player that is performing consistently at the top level throughout the year. I just think that, literally he has been kind of the glue next to Valen that has consistently been performing for G2. Gives them very strong, solo sight holders, too, with that Leaf guy.
Devil's advocate, Tex. Leviathan player. He's had a great year, some of the best performances he's had. But I think that what Leaf brings behind the scenes, with being kind of a big nerd about the game, adding ideas, being a really vocal player, helping with the mental too, I think good choice.
Yeah, no, his proactivity, he's great. He's always amazing on the lurk. He's always a reliable set of hands for them. So I can't argue.
The great thing about Leaf, too, is that he plays so many different roles that he can bring some flexibility.
But did you step
to the
outside
team.
of the zone? Did you step
Hold on.
outside of G2 and Lev
Not
here?
just- Yes, I did, of course. We're going Heat for my initiator.
Oh!
This guy reinvigorated this crew roster since he stepped in to the shoes of MTA back in stage 1. Right, this team went on an insane run. And I think, when I'm looking at the other initiators in the league, some very talented ones, but in terms of a guy that turned an entire team around, no one did it like he.
He seemed like the catalyst for Crew to really have the comeback that they found this season. My other suggestions, EU I think has been incredible. In my opinion, I think he's the best Fade player in
I'd give you that,
the league. Maybe Heat's a better shooter sometimes, but I think EU adds a ton to a roster. That would maybe be my pick.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I can't really. I like the pick of Heat also just because it steps outside of the box of G2 and Lev, but also he really did bring so much to this team this year. And even in the match the one that they won against C9, I mean, that pop-off was crazy.
Sure.
He absolutely, he kind of teetered off toward the end, but man, absolute great year from him. Yeah.
I almost went Kalenzine, to be honest.
That's honestly not
honestly, wouldn't have been a bad one either.
You got something for the duelist turned initiator players that are crazy.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
I think people will reflect too much on Loud going out in the groups, but Kawa was
This guy is
insane,
Kawa was
as
great.
always.
fragging every game, can play all the different initiators,
but
would
not
be
on the super
fantastic.
He's literally never been bad.
Yeah, not gonna make it today, but
All right,
now
number
is where
5.
we get contentious because
Ooh.
with how
The
Valen likes to
initiator?
call his games, he loves to lean into double
Roller.
smokes comps. I think that
Controller.
my roster that I'm building to win
Sentinel.
champions, they're playing a lot of double smokes with Leaf on a Senti, perhaps, or even a Sky. I could see him flexing over to. My last player is Bang. This guy
Whoa.
has been lights out all year. The best defensive player in VCT, in my opinion. I think that the way he plays off angles, especially he was the guy that
Bro,
made
hands off
100
for
Thieves
defense,
Bind
bro.
absolutely
Hands off for
untouchable.
defense,
How
bro.
he
You
worked
so
different angles
play very
around the
well.
V site.
You
I
play
think he
so
is locking
very
in
well.
Viper the majority of
You
games
play
for this
so
team, and they are
freaking very well.
flying on the defense side.
He played so freaking very
I mean, the logic is sound. I like what you did here. It was, you seem to be.
I'm trying to think who I would pick instead. The player that comes to mind is Tens if we get a bit of a flex roll off.
That's fair.
But I do agree with you with what Bang's been able to achieve. Seems well thought.
In terms of Viper players, I think Bang is the guy. And then on maps where you
Sure.
want to run, a second smoke, and Leaf again can play those initiators.
I think
Played them in the
Leaf
past.
opens you up so much to kind of put whoever you want in those last 2 roles because he could play duelist on
Yeah,
that.
his
He could
agent
play
pool's
initiator.
wild.
He can play patrol. He can do anything.
That's a good team.
Am I winning champions with this team?
Honestly,
You might be.
let us know if Ender's winning champions
I'll
with
coach
this
them.
team. All right, make sure you
Well,
sign off on
maybe
social
you'll
media.
like
VCT
me.
America's VCT. Is Ender right? This is a solid squad, though. I quite like it. I quite like it. All right.
Pick Potter.
I
Well,
would
folks-
also pick Potter, but I'll be your assistant coach, and then next year I can coach 100 Thieves.
Oh, that's so
look at
true.
that.
Oh,
Okay. I like that. You guys are out here making deals.
And no disrespect for the other players, like totally no disrespect, but every single team, every single member who were playing the team, they do a great job, bro. Everyone got their own role, but yeah, everyone's hands off that whoever reached in that stage and performing gaming, and bro, that was so mind-blowing, bro. Everyone's hands off, and thank you so much for entertaining a lot of people and joining a gaming community and doing a lot of inspiration for it. So yeah, probably that was actually a cool thing. Hands off for the every single player who challenged each other. But yeah, that was so awesome. That was so awesome, bro. That was so freaking awesome. But I'm confused, like, where is Tariq, right? Where's Tariq? Is he coming or is he just joining an official channel? Something maybe. I think probably he's them. I'll rank it. What are they thinking? Browsers. Okay, watching going. Sorry, 2K for it. Damn. The strike a 500K. This is the final round of the current strike. If someone really didn't even know, Shroud is calling on. Shroud is calling on. Look at though. Look at though. Damn. We are going. Oh. Hello, brother.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. I'm having a really good time here, and I'm also learning a lot. So it's, you know,
It's your first gaming event, right?
not my first gaming event, but it's
Okay.
my first with Valorant. So yeah, it's
What
definitely
is
exciting.
bro
to get
doing
to
over there? What
Absolutely.
the hell?
For the people that don't know, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
So I am a WWE superstar. I am wrestling every single week on Mondays.
What?
On the USA Network, and I'm a huge anime and gaming nerd, and yeah, so and I'm from Queens, New York, so.
She's a native, so we like her. You actually told me you have an anime tattoo as well. So
All anime everywhere. My legs are both animes, like Demon Slayer, Naruto, everything, so yeah. Inuyasha, I'm obsessed.
nice, we love that. What do you think of the vibes here? Is this like a pretty unique experience for you to see in terms of like what we have going on with the watch party and all the fans coming out?
I think it's really cool. I love the stage. I love how everything is set up. The vibes are really chill, very nice.
Yeah.
And although it's competitive, it's like a nice, friendly competitive, which I like.
Yeah, we haven't even started yet, so things will pick up pace soon here. But I heard you got to try out console. How was your experience on that?
It's fun. It's fun. So for me, I love getting into something new and being able to say, okay, I want to cosplay this person. I want to get really good with this person. So I'm kind of into Viper right now. I played a little bit with her, so I'm like,
Why the
yeah, I think
hell
I'm
is
into Viper right now.
WWE
I think you were telling me
player
you like
to
doing
the watching
cosplays. Would you do a Viper
Imagine
cosplay?
the live
Would.
video
I saw
America?
Valkyrie did it, so I'm
What?
kind of like, should I stick with Viper or should we go more Reyna? Might kind of err on the side of Reyna, so we'll see.
If you guys want her to do a Viper cosplay, pog in the chat. We're gonna send it back to the desk. Thank you, Zelina.
Thank you.
What? Zelina Vega was there? Oh my God. I just watched her go up against Liv Morgan for the WWE Women's Championship on Monday Night Raw the other day. She's incredible.
Wait,
Big fan
who
of
won,
hers.
G2 or Lev?
That's
At Monday night.
at Monday Night Raw. Who won, G2 or Lev?
Bro, the thing is, Tariq is challenging one versus one with the WWE champion, woman champion. Bro, she gonna smash him. She gonna smash him, bro. What the hell? Imagine though, just for a moment, imagine one's time. Just imagine just one's time on it. Why Tariq is there? What the hell do you mean why Tariq is there? What the hell do you mean why Tariq is there? He's a champion, bro. Okay. XD? Yeah. Love you too, bro. Golden boys. Woo woo. Let's go for the golden boys, bro. Yo, what? What? Bro, she was so fat. She was so fat. Look at her. Look at her. She was so fat. Probably she was 200 kg something. Damn. A Valorant artist, a Viper. Man, that was so freaking cool. The details were so amazing. Yeah. Who is the artist? Where is the artist signature or something? Bro, the tens was there. A Pencata? What? A Sentinels jersey looking over there in the finals. I really hope the Sentinels get there. Because because I see second Celsius, John Cutie. I really love them, so would like to. Here we do some chats. Read some. You, what's up, buddy? What's up? Tonight is going crazy. In India is a night, but yeah, there was a day. I know that. I'm proud something new. What would I like to say? What would I like to say? Yeah. He was a G2 coach. Yeah. Look at the text over there. Look at the text over there. It looks so cool. Oh hell. Why do I yelling? Well, I didn't even start it. But I do really hope two was there's two teams uh integrate each other about having exhaust each other. It's like, bro, that was so awesome to be see this finals. Because those team was hashtag number one and hashtag number two. G2 was hashtag number two and the Leviathan was the hashtag number one. So yeah, this tournament is going so crazy. I see. Damn, I see. It's so awesome to be getting a club. I do really bad for 100 give. I just really that 100. Oh. 22 minutes for the game? Yeah, 22 minutes for the game, bro. 22 minutes for the game. 22 minutes for the game. It was the truth. Shut the fuck up, bitch. You are a child. 11 years old. Hey, bro. Before the watch party, I think probably. Hey, what is he saying?
Like their playstyle kind of punishes my playstyle a bit, based on because I'm kind of aggressive. I take my timings, and they're a very like tight and strong team where like they punish you if you make mistakes. So I'm just going to be focused on playing really well fundamentally, and I think I'll play a lot better like that.
Their text talked about G2's style punishing his individual play, but what they also did in the last match was punish Ospas. This guy is a danger to any team playing against him, especially when he has the operator. And I want to highlight some of the absolutely incredible calling from Valen to get them that 2-0 stomp win the last time they beat Lev. We're entering into this one on Icebox. It's round 8. G2's on the attacking side. They've had a good go of things thus far, and their big priority is figure out what Ospas is up to with this op and find the gap in the defense. Lev is starting this round with 3 players over towards A. They have their Harbor here, who's going to send an early cascade down this line to set up Ospas for an early fight here. But G2 are going to send their own early utility here. You see that Killjoy Molly come in combination with the Dizzy, with that cascade of their own as well. That's their standard utility to scale and start to take towards A. But Leviathan give a little tell in this round that sets G2 up to make an amazing call. This Killjoy Molly normally remains unbroken because the only place you can really break this Killjoy Molly from is either when you're playing up top, on this angle or this angle. You can actually go and fight and break that one through. And you're only going to really do that when a player is actually looking to go forward and fight. So that's a tell to make them realize that, hey, they're breaking that molly. It's likely because Ospas is going for a forward fight and trying to get one of those opening kills. So G2 will rotate back and instead put pressure towards B main. What they're going to try and sell here, after realizing there's a likely stack on A, is that they're going into a basic hit on this B site. We'll speed up for a second and see how they set up for this one. You see that Harbor, that Sova, both setting up in main. And they're going to show the normal utility that makes you think, hey, this is going to be some kind of hit in this direction. A drone's going to start coming through, a cascade's coming through, but that's not actually where they're going to finish this round. Look what's going on in mid right now. This cascade will block off what would be the default turret angle right there, and players are going to walk through this orb to pinch. Because they think that Ospas has a heavy setup on A, they're suspecting that there's only 1 or 2 players anchoring on B, and at most, the rest of Lev is slowly rotating over through spawn. So, with that pressure in main, this Viper player is forced to fall back, and G2 catches an absolutely perfect timing as 3 come through the orb, get a 1-for-1 trade onto King here, and they've already set themselves up in a winning position now. They're going to get into a post plant, but the round's not done yet. It's a 4v4 at this point with that spike going down, and they'll commit a lockdown in a bit of a strange position. You're never going to see a Killjoy putting a lockdown here. But because of the space they gained in mid, this basically stunts Lev's ability to go for a retake. Everyone who wants to push through is stuck out here or would have to reflank all the way back through. And this means that G2 is able to get into a really good post-plant position. They know there's going to be a fight from mid, so multiple players are setting up to take this swing under 2. They're using volleys, utility to delay on this one, and they come out favorable from the trades. But there's even more than that. They have insurance policies in this round. Leaf dying there is fine because he's bought time. Look what Trent has on the board. The Hunter's Fury. They retreat this post plant all the way back into main, and despite the fact that this util is going to come in, that there are tools for Lev to retake, they have enough left to stall this one out. All of this round started because of a very simple little piece of utility that Valen read and rotated off of. And he had rounds like that throughout this game, where he's taking the little cues, the little reads he has, and transforming them into round wins.
Crazy to think one small thing you know, shooting a molly, a killjoy molly, leads to a cascading effect, as we saw right there.
And I think the thing that is so impressive about Valen, it sometimes gets some flack for playing like very slow rounds on the attacking side, but all he is waiting for is that critical piece of information that tells him exactly how to win out the round. Sometimes that's going to take him a minute, 10 seconds. Sometimes it is just as simple as that molly gets broken and he finds the immediate solve. But no matter what he does in a round is seek out that information and then break the team that he's playing against.
Valen is only 21 years old. He's been on this roster for a long time, almost 3 years now. And in that time, he has grown so much as an IGL. They went from the team who choked in Reykjavik 2 years ago when they went on their miracle run to now a team that is great under pressure. They can come back at big games, at international events, and now they've made it to their second finals in a row here in Americas. His journey's been incredible, and G2 would be nowhere close to the quality of team without this IGL.
G2 is Valen.
Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree with that. The man absolutely has contributed so much to this team. It's actually here from Valen and Leaf is actually standing by outside with Riv and Van Silly. What you got, guys?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're here at the block party, joined by Leaf and Valen. We're going to get right into it. Leaf, I have to ask you, if you think back to last year, you fell just short of LCQ to none other than Leviathan. Then fast forwarding to this season, joined as a duelist, but then switched to Sentinel, and things are changing, even though it was a comfortable role. What, though, do you think you've kind of grown and learned as an individual or a team that allowed you guys to be so successful in this run?
I think as an individual, like, I've grown a lot. I mean, obviously swapping a different role requires kind of a different mindset, but I think I'm pretty, like, smart at the game. Compared to last year,
let's play some deathmatch and after that we will fire me up. This one's oh. Oh. Holy shit! Okay, let's go right to 2 minutes.
Match found.
So here is some tips before you start the match. You farm. So important. Press.
Deathmatch. Warm up.
Not a stress. Right. Okay, let's bring it up, bitch. Oh hell no, bro. Oh, wait a second! Wait a second! fucking bitch!
I'm over them.
Fight!
I'll show them. Lintik kayo.
Oh my god!
Smart move.
Oh my god, that was so close.
Hi, monsieur.
Oh my god. Bro, wait a second!
Found the spot.
Oh my god!
Bad move.
It was so good! Bro, wait a second!
Alis.
Oh my god, do you want to see how do I operate her? Oh my god, I just picked the wrong one. What? Oh my god. Oh, wait a second, let me see it. One core. Why?
10 kills remaining.
Back off. Taken out.
5 kills remaining. One kill remaining. 1 minute remaining. 30 seconds left. 10 seconds left.
It takes time, but I can do it very, very easy. They're so good. At least I can trust in this Bombay server. Okay though. I got Bombay, Hong Kong, Singapore, Tokyo, Sydney. Okay, so this is not a Tokyo. This is not a like a US something. What am I? Okay, the thing that you just want to see my aim, right? So I'll show you my aim. This is the first time. Get up! Get warming up. I don't care whoever I do play, like, this is just normal. What? What? Damn, I just missed 4-5 legit shots. 4-5 legit shots. Let me say it once more time. One, two shots. 3 shots, 4 shots, 5 shots, 5 shots. And if you guys really wanna improve your aim, something maybe I'm nothing. I watch a lot of people that who have been achieved, but even in this training room, just go for ISO and practice. If you saw this thing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. One from the left, one from the right. One from the left, one from the right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Like this. Like if you just... Let me show you my main ability. Here's one more trick that I've been used for. god, I'm so far to be picking her like that way. Okay, let's go. Live the match. Exit, lobby. Exit. Let's go, what's going on?
What is that?
Riot Games Arena! Please join me in welcoming your first Stage 2 Grand Finalist, G2 Esports! Give it up for Icy!
Why did the game I said first one?
Trent! Jonah!
Jonah, bro!
And head coach, Josh R.T.
Let's go!
And now, let's bring out their opponents in this best-of-5 series for the VCT America's Championship. Make some noise for Leviathan's husband. Tex!
It's a text. Chill out. It's a text, bro. Vamos! Leviathan. Let's go.
King!
And the last one is Mazzino! Like it up. And the coach.
And head coach, Ito Pata! Let's give it up one more time for your grand finalists!
And the wait is finally over. It is now time to crown our America's champion. On one end, you have G2 Esports, a team that has been forged through the fires of resiliency. And then on the other side of the stage, it's a Leviathan roster bred for greatness, created for perfection and championships. You genuinely couldn't have asked for a better setup for this matchup.
G2 ended last year winning Ascensions after sticking together in Tier 2, passing up on opportunities to go to the Partnership League. Now this year they have been on a run, made a controversial roster move, then took off with their run in Stage 1, with their performance at Shanghai, and now they have a chance to hoist their first ever trophy in Tier 1.
On the other side of the stage, a former teammate in Tex, the rest of Leviathan coming in without vetoes. G2 decide to take away Sunset and Icebox. Icebox, a map G2 just smoked Lev on the other day, but it shows they don't have hubris, right? They know that is still Leviathan's best map and are taken out of the pool.
And that's clear respect given. Both these maps have been great for Leviathan all season, so they go into a lot of G2 strengths to start out. A Lotus and Haven, both maps where I think Valen's IGLing has been excellent.
And to finish the series,
I was gonna say,
go to 5 on the brand new map of Abyss.
I want it so bad.
What?
I want it.
That would be
I want
incredible.
it so. It would be unbelievable, man, if we got over to Abyss to determine who is the America's champion. What are the chances of that? And look, the reality is the chances are actually quite good because even when you look at the maps that got taken out for Leviathan, Icebox and Sunset, you still got to be like, well, you know, it's still Leviathan. They still have the firepower to be able to take it to G2 on some of these more preferred maps for them.
They absolutely do. My biggest question for Leviathan is how well are they going to perform under pressure? Because you can't help but draw back to stage 1 playoffs, to Shanghai, where they disappointed, and honestly almost losing that BO5 to Crew yesterday. This is their opportunity, though, to lock in, to let the past be in the past, and go into Champions as America's #1 seed with the regional trophy.
Yeah, because the best version of Leviathan is the team that didn't drop a map during the regular season in stage 2, the team that hasn't lost a regular season game since their first one against Cloud9. Playoffs have been tough for them, but if they come in that form, they are going to give G2 a run for their money.
And that's the difference between these teams. Lev has been the consistent monster in the regular season, whereas G2 has been the squad that steps up in these big games. Look at that run in Shanghai, the comebacks against teams that they had no business beating. They have a chance to do that here too.
Another big question about who shows up is what Icy do we get today? This guy has been all over the place. Sometimes he can deliver back at Shanghai. Last few days hasn't been that same level.
And he's facing up against Ospas, far and away the best duelist in our league.
But they have done this before. Let's not forget. Yes, it wasn't, you know, Ospas was popping off, but let's not forget, G2 walked away with a 2-0 victory. Put Leviathan in that lower bracket to begin with. Here comes your agents, though. We got Icy locking up the race.
I do think that Lotus is one of Icy's better maps. He gets to brawl a little bit more with the team here and really get set up nicely by his teammates. This is one he performs very well on, but it's also the 47 bomb of Ospas that he's got to go up against.
And Ospas is playing on the Neon now. This is where Leviathan debuted a new comp, playing that Breach and that Fade combined with that Neon. A bit of a new school comp, but I actually think they play it really well here.
We'll see if they can actually break the defensive side, though, of G2, because obviously you've got Leaf that's so fantastic on the Killjoy here, but Jonah P has been playing absolutely out of his mind in playoffs. This guy is an absolute superstar and not an easy man to shut down.
And Leviathan is starting on the attack, where I think this Neon comp is a little bit harder than those fast rotates you get on the defense, and also where I think we have seen this team struggle at times. G2 is a great defensive team on this map. A lot of the time, they're coming out the better on their defensive side, which is super rare for teams on Lotus. And that honestly all comes down to the immaculate mid-rounding that Valen finds.
Valen is truly the genius on the defensive side. He finds ways to either get flanks going or rotate, get stacks going up against your opposition. He never over-rotates his players. He reads teams like a book.
Well, let's go ahead and do this thing, shall we? It's time for map #1 in this best-of-5 series, the trophy. The glory. It's all on the line. Let's go ahead and send it over to your casters for this one. You got, of course, Brent and Sideshow.
Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, what an honor it is to cover this one here. Our finale in Americas for 2024. Two worthy competitors. Listen, they've had their trials and tribulations throughout this entire year, but it's right here, right now, where they're going to lay claim to be the best in Americas.
It's certainly our two best teams, and they have followed very different paths. Love the way that Mimi set it up. One team that we've been worried about in bracket play, but has still made it all the way through. Difficult matches, pushed to the limit. Leviathan maintain their spot in the finals. But G2, it feels like there's an aura around this team where when the game matters most, they deliver. Having said that, Valen spoke earlier about seeing 100 Thieves lift that stage 1 trophy and vowing not to let it slip out of his grasp again. I'm expecting this to be a banger, and we open up on the map that Leviathan have been banning recently.
Exactly. Definitive advantage here for G2. They came through the uppers. They were right in the wrongs of what went on for them in stage 1 in that finals. They had to battle it up from the lower bracket. They know how tough it can be. You had Leaf and Valen talking about the preparation difference that they're expecting, at least, that Lev have had really no time to reset and think about this match. Too much, Icy! An opener Potentially
Right
closes at a pistol as well, just from that first kill alone. Let's put a pause into the step of Leviathan.
It's very difficult to pivot away from A now. You're lacking smokes. How could you possibly go to B?
The call is made to just take it slow and steady. A bit of contacting plays. There's a gap in the defensive protocol here. Jonah P, it's up to him to try and close that one still. Aspas right back in. And now, down to that 4v4. Getting a bit of a run on. Leave here in the footsteps. Sets it up nice and easy. A bit of that squeeze once more occurring. Just flanking straight from main again, but it's difficulties here. The spike's been dropped down.
They've actually managed this 4v5 situation really nicely, apart from losing the spike here. G2 allowing them to collect it. This fight is going to go on to B with no smokes.
And straight into it. Trying to take the brawl right into the fray. I see!
Oh my God!
Is an opening you can only dream of here in our best of 5 grand finals.
Questions about this guy's form? Of course there are going to be, with the extraordinary success we've seen from him in certain matches. What a way to answer those questions early on. A 4K hitting such excellently precise shots with the Sheriff. Rumors, stories about him dropping 40 in scrims and G2 choosing him above all others to fill the role of duelist. Vindicated, at least here at the beginning.
Sets it up more than nicely here. Leviathan. Game plan's made easy for them, just seeing if they can vacuum up any of these ult orbs, farm up some potential ults just to at least carry it forward into the next few sections here. But you mentioned earlier, Josh, just how much Valen wanted it. The whole team wants this trophy lift here. Not just vindication for, you know, some of the decisions that have been made by this G2 org, but also just the ability to go from strength to strength. They won out Ascension. They made a finals, even making international events their first year in partnerships. But here and now is where they can really cement themselves as building that legacy.
And I think you couldn't get a more stark contrast than the two duelists that we have. Icy is not only part of the team that's come through Ascension, but he is a straight-up rookie. He hasn't had even the tenure that the other G2 players have. On the other side, the duelist for Leviathan is looking to be the 2-time trophy lifter in Americas.
Trying to cement that GOAT status here.
Oh!
Bit of pressure definitely applied now towards these anchoring players. Valen, it's up to him to offset that. Again, plenty of bodies just ready to wade right in front of him, and he will mop them up. Assistant to the rest of his team, ready by their sides, and Aspas will be that last one left.
It was on this map that we saw magic created from Aspas earlier on in the season.
Gotta go.
A ridiculous amount of kills. I think Leviathan, though, as we head forwards and start to think about what their attack side's going to look like, it's very easy for Valen to get a read on Lev if they use a lot of initiator utility early round to take map control. You might be thinking, okay, they have Breach Fate. They should be able to take Rubble really quickly, take Mound really quickly. But if you use your double initiator util at the start of the round, G2 are going to know exactly where you're headed. So Lev are forced to save that util to deny information and make it difficult for G2 to tell where they're ending. So we might see some slow-paced beginnings to these rounds and then explosive executes.
Front line's going to be used nice and early here for Aspas. That's TP disengaged from Valen as well. Horn potentially to get Aspas back up onto that line. It's being pushed back. Leaf's making a go of things here with the Outlaw in his hands. Even rattled off one of the shots, so they're aware of that. Big weapon into his hands. Plenty of targets potentially, or literally at least just the one Tex. Half armor that would have gone down to it.
So having used a lot of initiator util over towards Mound, they've dragged 3 players from the defense to C, and now they're going to look to try to retake Rubble. But you see how obvious it is where Leviathan are moving around. You kind of know now that they've left C because you're hearing all of this noise on the other side of the map.
Only being maintained as well. One player to lock down Rubble. To C's at his feet. He's tethered, rooted to the spot, makes him an easy pickings target here for Leviathan. But he's taking that A Rubble control, and they've still maintained control of C-Mount the whole time. Might see the pivot occurring. King's going to be making that call for the rest of his team, and eventually following suit.
This is a lovely call. Going back to King, who was inserted there, means now there's only one player defending on C.
It's all on Leaf as well. Not the weapon for the job as well, when there's going to be that swarm approaching. Overwhelming them. At least with the Nano Swarm still available, we'll slow them down for but a moment to try and buy time for the reinforcements of G2 to get back into the fight. Running for the right timing once more as the tap not quite. Walking into the smoke, they choose to face it. And it is overwhelming at that with the rifles in hands. Pure weaponry advantage at play here by Lev, but what a call to make in the midst of it. A world in which Valen surely doesn't get away with it. It's 2 though. Well, I can't imagine it's a possibility for Trent. It's made just that little bit more winnable here, but with only a stinger in hand, it would require Lev to slip up almost entirely to win a round in this capacity, especially with time taken away from him.
No,
5 health on Aspas, but on and off angle. Does get cleared. So that's a little more damage. Another rifle taken out of the hands. Up until they chose to fight against Valen, this was looking like an absolutely flawless anti-bonus. And Leaf did invest, so he's going to have weaker weaponry here heading into the next round. I'm not a big fan when we see teams doing that kind of thing. Now he's going to be working with, look, light armor stinger in this one. A lot of the Americas teams are going for these slightly more invested looks in the bonus. Doesn't make too much sense to me, but we'll see if Leaf can get value out of the stinger. He's mostly going to be playing that anchor C position, which you do get a lot of close range fights, especially when there's a neon barreling into your face.
Aspas going to be trying to hunt out those opportunities and chances. Obviously, very much enabled. The rest of his team, the double initiator comp here, not opting for a gun. Instead, he does have that overdrive sitting in his back pocket, and here it is, trying to go for a bit of an electric opening. Valen, he just stands his ground. Will not let them pass the initial choke point.
Excellent read.
Pushing them back.
Excellent read there. Valen was waiting for that off the turret contact, off any kind of explode into B. They're ready for these fast B hits. They were on the pistol as well. And this is where Leviathan's composition struggles a little bit more compared to the normal Viper setups, where you can try to contact into rubble.
Toxins going up.
Making a good go of it, though.
Trent could get pinched here. King doesn't have the paranoia, but Trent's quite alone.
Potentially there in the danger zone. The door's rotated. It's alerting a lot of G2 to the possibility that they are outside this A. A few bullets spraying away. Jonah P almost thinking about the timing here in this corner. Will it get cleared? It's half, and it's sloppy at best, really, but Lev eventually making their go. Straight through into the baby door. Again, it's being shut down. G2 are very quick to respond. Rewarded with a spike in elapse too, so will be no chances anymore for Mazzino. Just forced to really scurry away, save this rifle into the next.
10 seconds
What ends
left.
up winning this round for G2?
Oh,
Valen's read on the game.
Look at those.
He may have a chance to deny this final rifle as well. Mazzino's going to keep it in hand. Get that breach ult online. But a silver lining to an otherwise very G2-focused defense there. I love the read at the beginning. They've very much focused on the fact that Lev, with the double initiator comp, are more likely to run BXX. It just suits their composition more. So Valen's there with paranoia, swings into the neon wall, and able to isolate that. And then Valen's also there to clean up and help Trent towards the end. Stops King from being able to pinch, also takes down Tex. 8-1 before Mazzino ended up knocking him towards the end of the round.
It's always going to be a bit of an uphill battle, I think, for Leviathan, coming from that lower finals. Fan disadvantage, but maybe a player like this is enough to upset it. Aspas, this guy is not willing to step back, not willing to take things lightly. And a slight misstep, but still cleaned up in the end by Mazzino.
What a way to open up an eco round where you only had a single rifle to work with. Mazzino throwing it to the player he knows will do the most. And they managed to turn one rifle into 3. A 4v2 that now looks extremely difficult. Con playing for the jiggle, getting info on Leaf.
Saw that.
It's almost a save. You're looking at the economy for Trent and Jonah P. They need the rifles into the next round.
The money's been struggling, I think, despite the fact that G2 are ahead in rounds. They've been surviving with 1 or 2 players basically at most.
I've got to say, I don't think of Aspas as being a spray control guy as much. And normally, he's got that super precise, clean headshot aim. Here, barrels his way forwards, takes a 2v1, deletes both players spraying with a Phantom. Absolutely beautiful.
It's the kind of firepower you get from a player like Aspas. He himself as well said many a time. There you go. Damage done through the wall there, I believe, towards the end, but it was only King that was dropped. Just about missed it, but This is a player on your screens that, you know, he's yearning for that trophy himself. He's one of the only players left standing in the playoffs that even has a chance of claiming back-to-back from the prior year. 2023 lifted that America's trophy.
What was this?
Yeah.
Oh my
I mean, the
god.
spray control onto Jonah's swing as well, the prediction of it. Perfection. That's turned the map already.
The money situation, not ideal here for G2, even that early bit of damage. Leaf dropped down to just 10 HP. Has to respect that now. The angle's given up out towards C.
There.
Can there be a player on G2 that steps up in the same kind of way to win a Thrifty and answer back? Turret taken down. Very little response to that. No immediate execute into B, so G2 holds strong, thinking that that turret break is just designed to pull people.
It's a heavy committal, isn't it, by G2? Out towards this A rubble fight, but understandable when IC's only working with a Sheriff, but a showstopper might be the difference maker.
I mean, this is going to be a fake over towards A rubble here, but I think G2 have got a bit of a read on what's going on.
There.
Because there wasn't any additional pressure behind that utility, where are they going to end right now? Probably into Leaf and Valen.
Yeah, into Leaf and Valen. Wait a second.
Indecision with 40 seconds left. I'm not feeling great about this from Lev's point of view. They're going into Icy with a showstopper.
It's worked though. G2,
it's
hook, line,
worked.
sinker. It's only Icy who's going to be left. And you are right, he does have that showstopper, but one tool against entire army that's now going to be facing him. Reveal time and no way to Sheriff. Not even any time to let loose with the ultimate, but still with that weapon in hand, maybe he's made it that much more difficult. That is ridiculous. It's all just gone to pot. Leviathan forced to barrel their way through with brute force in the end. Only 6 seconds left, but the spike drops down. Fallon with the paranoia has to be stuck. There's not more time.
No,
it's too late. He missed it. G2, all they have to do is hide and run away, and it's a round one for them.
What an unbelievable round there! I think King had time to get the plant down if he'd wanted to plant in an unsafe position, but he chose to tuck himself in as tight as he could, and the numbers on the clock were just not there for him. What a wild round! We heard from King earlier on in that interview with Riv and Vansili saying he's learned so much this year in terms of his calling, but when the pressure's applied to that kind of degree, there was mad indecision in that round. With 45 seconds to go, they wanted to see execute. They realized they hadn't cleared out rubble enough, so they were thinking about G2 having the read.
There.
Doubt, hesitation, creeping into the minds of Lev, culminating in back-to-back 50s and G2 straight back in the driver's seat.
Got the money back.
Cage triggered.
Takes under a lot of that pressure here. There's even an ult expended. Normally a risky endeavor here by Icy as well. It's unlikely to really get too much value. Everybody scurries and backs away from it, so at least Lev can slow it down and be happy with that, but now going to have to make a play to potentially re-clear out A rubble just to make sure it's not overly obvious where they're going to be ending.
And of all the ideas to go for here, Aspas with an attack side operator. So your Neon, the person that you want to be making space for you, picking up a weapon that runs counter to that. This has got to be a slow round to make a pick work for Aspas, but you've only got 50 seconds left after the initial skirmish.
Exactly. It's the hourglass running dry already. All in game plan.
No, guys, don't go
slow
it,
siege,
don't
hoping
go
that Aspas
it.
would get a pick opening with this operator, but now they're directed straight into C. No util's been cleared. Valen and Leaf are side by side. The stun and fault line. At least with the Nightfall, it's all going to be combined, concatenated in to see if they can get this site hit. But again, like I said, the Nana Swarm's not there. Swapping it over. It's a rifle into the hands, but again, a fight taken straight into the smokes. It's so damn disjointed. Door opened up. Noise cues cut away. Nobody can hear a bloody thing. Massino sticking into the plan, but nobody's watching these angles at all. It's onto Aspas and Tex. They've got to try and stave off the aggression, stave off G2. But it's inevitable at this point. Surely Tex can't do it. Just overwhelmed into the corner. And another one for G2, racking up the rounds up to 5.
Another moment where the calling from Lev looks a little scrambled towards the end. They're struggling here with the clock. But also, what a play from Jonah P. The professor makes use of silence in the university library, runs in behind, guns down 3. That Nightfall, there was nobody in the post-plant positions that could hear him coming. I don't think they even realized the door had been opened. The reaction late. But Jonah P gets easy ones. Going into attack timeout here, actually, and there was just a flash of a strat towards the bottom there. Couldn't claim that I saw exactly who was typing it, but whichever team saying, you know, let's take A, let's play for A control, so.
Yeah, a lot of pings on the minimap by Leviathan, at least even now.
Yeah.
Sitting in their timeout, so out towards stairs, into the site, just all these angles that potentially they want to make sure are covered.
You know you've got a large LED screen when you're using penguins to block up the dead pixels.
Yeah. Gets expensive otherwise. It's a little Easter egg. Throw it into the mix.
A beautiful look for these two teams coming out as well with the trophy there too.
Oh, yeah. And that's what both of these teams are fighting for. Listen, it might look like an amalgamated piece of metal, but it is important to absolutely everybody on the stage. I don't mean that in a negative way as well. I do quite like our trophy.
It's a beautiful trophy.
Yeah.
It really is.
It goes here.
Op Odin.
Come on, guys.
G2.
You guys can do it,
Trent
guys. Come
taking
on.
his position in tree. Plenty of opportunities to get use out of that weapon that can turn the walls to paper. If you're looking to try to play for an ult orb, if Trent can get a good haunt lineup, so many ways that these two weapons are going to cause Lev trouble. And look, Lev wanted to take A control, and G2 were wanting to fight them for it.
Immediately going to be feeling the pressure, aren't they? Straight from the Odin spam. Hailing down with a lead. It's another wall that's just thrown up into the game plan of Leviathan here, but they're not slowing down. It's the door opened up. Trent second guessing, backing away now.
Yeah, good break on the haunt from Lev, because otherwise that Odin would have rattled out.
This is still staying vigilant. Operator into his hands. Might have a difficult task ahead of him here, but at least giving it up. Dodging the initial fault line and util that comes out. Trent again having to give up this space. Up to the corner, this time Jonah Pete not into the usual one here. Ult's now going to be used by Aspas. Potential indicator. Slight pause from Lev. They're just hoping that there's some initial util going to be used out and through. Tever and Prowler in through the back, clears out most of it. Dropping down, shots though. And there's a covering fire from Trent. Satchel back up onto the high ground. Safety in numbers. G2 looking to play this one strongly together. King, risk to be taken. Out through the back, Com going for flanks and finds it. At least rewarded. King on for another. Everybody dropping here. Leviathan are looking strong in control of every possibility here. The retake shut down before it can even begin. G2.
Let's go, let's go.
They're reeling, and Leviathan at least one step closer, potentially even up this scoreline.
Let's go.
Huge round from Com as well, finding that value. Great read on where the G2 players were going to be coming from and the timings they were going to take too. When Aspas overstepped, there was the potential for this post plant to crumble. But Com was there for two very important kills, controlling stairs and that flank. If Com loses either of those duels, suddenly it's on for G2.
Let's go, let's go. Let's go, you guys can do it. You guys can do it, let's go.
Surely not another time.
Okay.
Back to back, basically.
Onto the other side of things. Not liking what the game plan was potentially being called here. Josh has got some strong words potentially for the team.
He's just spoken to them, bear in mind. You know, when Lev take a timeout, Josh can still have input. But of course, G2, everything was working fairly nicely. Apart from that thrifty round where Aspas just tears you up. Which, listen, what's a coach going to tell you to do there? Don't get sprayed down.
Oh, it's just an Aspas moment.
Sure. But here,
the trophy
needing
was
that
so
time
amazing to be
to talk to the team,
colors.
right the ship.
What
G2
the
are going to be
hell?
going into the next with a thrifty. And Lev's comp is still going to be exceptionally strong on the defense side, maybe even stronger because of the potential to. We're going to be going into the next with a thrifty.
What do you think about the trophy this year?
What's up?
What do you think about the trophy this year?
Trophy looks good.
Still going to be exceptionally strong on the defense side.
There's an
Maybe
echo.
even
I'm pretty sure it's
stronger
because
of the
Tarek's way louder
potential
than everyone else.
to
Yeah, can we make sure the microphones
defend
are all
or
the same?
set retake
'Cause it does
behind
feel that way.
Aspas, who's going to send it on the neon
I don't even know if
with
I'm
double
talking to
initiating
anyone.
util.
Yeah, they just kind of threw us out here. I'm not gonna lie.
That really the
A juggle!
Lotus, the way we are used to it playing out.
The big
in
dag!
terms of the attack
The
side.
big dag in the ring
We see these different comps.
And a half.
They ran out Lev.
Okay, 5-3.
Very strong with the
Arms
retake
out on
protocols.
Aspas. It's an equal round for G2. This round's a wash. Let's go,
What we might be
TikTok.
expecting here. G2 on their half
Let's go
looking for a
next.
bit of a play.
Oh!
Straight out to skirmish, so they
They
are
missed
trying
that?
to force the handoff here. There's an aftershock into the corner. It's going to be forced
Go for the
into his hands with Com dropped in the process. A lot of damage onto Aspas, locked down, even committed. It's a big ult. using it into this one here just to push them back and away. They are in through the back of the site.
This is a big risk from King and Tex. Remember, you're on an anti-eco. If they fall, the round falls with them.
Still, they've got site control. Now they can put the Pencer onto them. And then the Wiser here from G2, but again, shots need to be rattled here with the satchel. Not enough to offset the movement. Standard just leap as well. He's open into the sidelines of all the rivals in play. So, Lev, one more round and they will be nice and even. 5-5 with G2.
I think Leviathan will feel great about that round as well. Getting the lockdown out of G2. You can understand why Leaf went for it. It did cause a bit of disruption to what Leviathan were up to.
Yeah.
But in the end, the ult not finding the round victory. So not available for the future, not going to be available for the rest of this half. It feels very much to me like these two teams are still trying to get the read on each other. And we're in round 10. The half's already over almost.
The back and forth has just been incredible. Adjustments being made, that's fast. Takes a cheeky one.
He missed it in the previous round, make sure not to. Go on, hit the button.
He finally gets hold of it here. There's a fault line to push them back as well once more. Lev again cascading this util forwards, making sure that they can scale up and take control throughout the back of the site here. And they're going to be applying that pressure once more. G2, they were ready for this last time. A bit of an aggression, but there's that extra element of flash to peek through and around the King. He will deliver it, rips away 2 of the lives of G2 again from the high ground perch, but unable to stand against it. Leviathan.
This aggression in the post-plant from Lev has been lovely. Combo with the breach flash there, slight distraction to turn Trent. They have not allowed G2 to set up for retakes. G2 are trying to create utility advantages where they are the team that has a Paranoia, a Haunt, maybe a Prowler to work with, and then they'll get ready to overwhelm and try to retake the site. And Lev are not allowing it, forcing the fights, trying to pick those timings. Get hold of G2 before the retake can happen, and they plummet them again to another Thrifty.
Second to last round into the half. Lev not seeing any signs of life here, other than the Haunt that's not quite dealt with. Real onto Asfas, backs away with the door opened up.
Oh, the danger zone.
Slowly but steadily, they will be making their way over towards the ace side. Trent. It's an off-angle Prowler though, alerts him to his position here. Might be feeling a ton more of that pressure where it came from. Again, the Prowler's going to be dodged just narrowly. Again, there's a fault line at his feet, stunned up as well. Will he be able to get anything here for his troubles? Mazina with the plant, haven't cleared up backside. Second wave of things now. Leviathan trying to go for it, and inside the smoke they go. It's defensive util that was laid down by G2 here, just to even stand a chance, but they are picking them apart now still. Sheriffs in hand, but it's overwhelming again, and full committal hive mind mentality. Mazina the one to clean up the most.
Oh, let's go.
And to finish.
Let's go, 5-5. Very nice.
It feels different today, Brent. We saw these two teams clash very recently. G2 2-0. Knocked Leviathan down, earned themselves the right for double map vetoes in this match. It feels different today. Lev are on fire individually, coming up with the right adaptations on their attack side. One more chance for G2.
One more chance indeed.
Oh,
Leviathan.
poor fade, bro. What the hell?
Different, man. I mean, all the adjustments they've been making as well. Almost everything going their way here. G2 haven't been able to put a string of rounds on the board in quite some time here, but at least they do have this defensive Viper's Pit. This will make it a lot easier to allocate where the bodies might be, where the players need to play over towards the map. Ult online though, as Rolling Thunder is going to force the issue here for G2. Smokes are laid down. A little bit more where that came from again, but this time G2 not shying away from the fight once more, but there's pivot options here available. Not even a minute mark left onto the round itself here, and the door just waiting. Now's the time to strike! Leaf! This off angle plays them apart just from the side. Aspas still just causing all sorts of a bit of mischief. And Leaf still locking down this extremity. They do not know how to navigate this scenario whatsoever.
Oh, no.
It's gone to pot for G2 though. In control of it, still not expecting it. Mazino slipped his way in through tree once more, but only one left to stand on his Tex. With an operator in his hands. Hunting for the rifle. Noise being made.
Cage triggered.
Cage is down and away. He's looking for a way to slip past. Potentially
30
eyes of
seconds
G2
left.
players. The 1v3
Oh, look to the right side.
would be a miracle for him to pull this one
Oh,
off. Icy.
that was slow.
Ever vigilant.
That was slow.
6-6 is going to be that finish that we see here for the first half of Lotus.
Switching sides.
I loved how G2 were ready for that pivot through B. Valen throwing the paranoia at the same time as Leaf, ready to take contact. The A hits were working for Lev, their aggression in the post plant threw G2 off. But in terms of the slower pace play and the maneuvers around the map, Valen was still a step ahead. And now he's got the opportunity to take hold of this game on the attack side.
It hasn't been so far. It's been anyone's game at all. We're going to be finding out just who takes Lotus after this.
God damn. Damn, son. Damn.
Cover me, cover me, cover me.
What the hell is Bro doing? Bro don't give a fuck. Bro really need to push a rank. What? Fuck VCD America's final, grand final. If Henry Thief is not there, I'm not gonna watch it on. How? It's gonna be so amazing. The background.
I think there's like
Zilted.
Where? Everyone say hi to Rob. Here.
Look at him! He looks so good! Damn! But the buffer?
Oh, well, I have to be your new son. I'm the new son.
Can I get adopted?
You want a headset?
Is my two?
So I'm joined here by Khalil from Fura from Brazil. Of course,
Oh, Khalil!
What he thinks
All right,
about G2
here we go.
and Levat, and
Now we're
who
good.
is going to
Can
win?
Can I get adopted or what? What's going on?
I think you're a little old.
I'm living in Egypt again. I've been called 45 once.
Hello, chat. I have two things to say. One, go to the shop.sentinels.gg, get your Vibe merchant merchandise.
Sir,
if your size is out, we're getting a reorder this week, so we'll have it fully stocked for champs. Nice, nice.
The thing is, Zelsus is so amazing person. Zelsus is so good, a real person that I have ever seen. So good. He's so good. So fucking good, bro. I really love him. But no one liked to do that much reality, but he was so freaking out of that. Mark it up. He was so good to be a said true word. If you like it, like if you didn't, you're never gonna hurt it. Like, stay away from it. That's it. That's a word so hard to be. So amazing. From Sensei Tiger Lab, let's go, vamos! It's starting up!
When's the draw?
Immediately after this.
What, on this stage?
Yeah.
Always found the gap.
Balance attack site calling will be on display yet again here, beginning for the pistol round, round 13 of Lotus. Jonah P, potential for the punish. If he wasn't careful, he was just sat right into the one-way, but now backing away.
They are in a
G2,
mid-position.
as per usual, will take this one with a bit of caution in their step. Potentially hearing that jump spot as well.
Oh, the sheriff.
Wants into the corner!
Oh,
What is that shot?
Oh,
Very nice, he's just coming straight back at him.
After
shocking. Probably seeking to delay and deny at least his plan, as well as that paranoia. Sweeping past and away. Come to play off of it. And the rest of his team now flooding straight back and through. Still, G2. They have the angles. They bide their time and wait to strike back, and leaving it just now to Mazzino. And a 1v3 here, just for the pistol. Util out into the hand, but straight into two. Waiting with open arms here. G2 happy to oblige.
Good try from Common. I really think that those flood defenses are going to be good if Aspas can get involved. But he was taken out of the round instantly. Icy finding that same level of value as he did in the pistol to begin. And G2 take them both. What is that shot? And look at how nice this is as well. Leaf staying inside of the smoke, swinging out in an anti-flash position. Valen also playing the same on the other side to shut down that retake attempt. We're going to be seeing tons of that, I'm sure.
Yeah. Just one example of G2 being so well drilled when it comes to those flood defense protocols.
Danger.
Met with a lot of bodies, yeah, the danger. It's mounting here. Despite the fact that Lev are really only working with the pistols. They can't give up that gun. That's got to be reclaimed, and at least it is. So, getting a move on now.
How many people did they actually see from Leviathan? They'll start adding it up as they see the utility and footsteps coming through. Do they know for sure, though, that C is open? Still using Prowlers. They might think this is more of a 1-4 setup. But it was all 5 players from Lev just stacked in the same spot.
Plant up for mountain control, too.
Aggression into spawn here, though, is dangerous.
Absolutely. Up against an eco round.
This,
really trying to take this fight here. You might even just hand over a couple of guns.
Yeah, it feels like a nice way to make a charitable donation with the Bulldog and the Stinger.
Molly and a nade. Loaded nice and early here from G2. Just a little bit to push Leviathan out of the picture, but now they're going to be swarming back in. Not feeling disincentivized here. Icy. He's the one who wants to receive most of this. Still stunned at that utility. It is potent into the right hands. G2, they don't know how to use it. Alongside the guns that they've got as well. Massive weaponry advantage here. Running back into the fight as well. Might be just donating a few more of these kills. It's an expensive round here. Despite the win, everybody falls.
Oh, they have been default for
G2 denied Tex from getting the ace against them. But you're right, that's extremely expensive. Had they just backed up towards the end, they could have still saved 3 pieces of weaponry. Sure, a Bulldog would have gone missing, but...
Headshot.
This is going to be a next round where G2 are essentially on a full eco. Can't bonus, can't really full buy into it either. You're not feeling confident about it anyway.
It's a bargain bin buy. Look at that. You've got the Buckies, the Stingers, bit of a Sheriff in the mix. Rifle in the hands of Leaf.
And so that 4K from Tex, extremely important because it should give them this round.
We've seen crazy things with that weapon. Playing Bucky.
Aspas is tapping the door here, very confident in his own abilities, looking to fight over towards Mound, but also clear this front area of B at the same time. G2 found a bit of a gap.
That's a lot to watch for here, but again, Bucky into the face and into the cage!
Oh
Tex, he did not stand a chance. He's made mincemeat. And now the rest of his team by his side once more. The same Utah going to be flooding out back and through here by Leviathan, looking for a way to get back into the fight. Again, but a nade. Ricochet's backing away. Push them back, gives that space for Trent to at least get the plant down. Extension now. Into the post plant we go. With all that space afforded to him, it doesn't really matter about the weaker weaponry. Now close quarters is where they thrive. G2 with more than a handle onto it. Paranoia just could not quite be dodged. Icy still weaving in and out of that smoke again, and as the double face comes through, decay damage. Enough for the cleanup. Jonah P in action. And G2, monstrous call when they were basically working with almost nothing. It was just a bunch of scraps coming into the round here. But they've walked away with a win when Lev had all the money, all the advantage.
Icy has been such a low-buy warrior for them on Lotus. Pistol round, he's delivered huge impact. And then also, Bucky in hand takes down Tex, who got the 4K to set up this massive economy advantage for Leviathan. And in terms of the strategy on the B hits, I love the way that Icy nades to counter the breach flash, and then they follow that up with Jonah P's Viper Orb. And so when Aspas eventually tries to retake, here they've taken so much of that decay damage. Lovely. A lot of Vipers in the past, you know, throwing the Viper Orb in multiple spots, picking it up, relocating it. That's not possible anymore. You've got to pick and choose the spot for that very carefully. And here you see Jonah throwing that more standard setup so that he's creating a lack of information for Lev on A.
It's a bit of urgency. It forces Com to take the initiative, maybe use a bit of util, but again, you can feel how difficult it is for him. The rest of G2 as well, going a bit of exploration out towards C-Mount.
The high-low setup might be a little difficult to break here. Nazino, Aspas on top of each other, and Aspas the one you're least likely to have good crosshair placement for. He's got a Vandal in hand.
Ready to do some damage. He's praying that anybody walks right into that cross, the setup, the high-low that you were discussing. pointing
Come on,
out,
that's
might
bad.
get his
Show
wish
it,
momentarily
show it,
here.
show
G2
it.
don't have util, not ready for this one still. They do have the bodies, but after that first kill, not going their way. Leaf dropping, they want nothing to do with this. Doors opened up though, looking for a pivot potential. Options again, not clearing text, but luckily saved there by the teammates. Again, the call is made left. That is explosive. Trying to react into it. A fight taken straight up. Here, Com, head on a swivel, doesn't know which way to look, but he was spotted out by these players. TP's forwards, Valin making risks of his own. And it has to be. It's a 2v4 situation. Tucked to the corner, Jonah P. Waiting out, but just spotted into the corner and cleaned up. Knows where Com is. Valin will drop him. 12 seconds remaining though. He's got to get a move on, and he's going to be chased now hot on the heels. Left. The rest of Leviathan going to be ready to punish this one. It's a tap and avoid. He's hoping for an easy fight as well, but at this point, no more options to him. Leviathan is wrangled by control of the round here, and again, it's one where they just didn't quite have the weaponry for it.
Good reads on the defense side.
Damn.
G2 head towards C, straight into that high-low setup, and then Tex is further forwards. It's not necessarily the kill that Tex gets, because he does get overwhelmed, but it's that delay. It stops G2 from immediately pivoting into a B hit or through the breakable door to A. Lev keep this one close. They haven't knocked G2's economy just yet, but barely a gap here.
It's 2 for Nail. Blessing in disguise here for G2. IC has earned his way up to the ultimate at least. No pushback as well out towards A rubble, but there is a very deep push from Leviathan out through C mound. They've got all control of that, and they know exactly where G2 are going to be playing. Out towards from B or even A. Fog of War getting cleared up ever so slightly for Leviathan to make all sorts of plays, and they are running into these players, but sound being heard, door opened up, Aspas. Maybe not, actually. Maybe just a game of timings that he might have missed, but he's sticking around.
He did this last time, and then he backed up.
The Prowler faces into it as well. Stray bullets, not enough for the kill. He's going to be lucky to be alive.
Jonah P on the other side, though, is super deep over here towards A. This could still end up being a feint.
I'm not sure what the call is here, still with the Nightfall.
Yeah, nobody caught.
Out and over, Horns as well.
You know that the C site is free there because of the ultimate thrown out from Trent, and especially due to Valin doubling up.
Aftershock, delaying. 35 seconds left, Neon Wall into the site.
And now Jonah P becomes a crazy late lurker, the backstab for the post plan.
He's going to try and catch his timing and catch it well, especially with Leaf falling once more as well. The options are starting to run dry at short. Ults are forced out. Icy is getting into it now as well. He just misses it. Goes straight over the top. Now you're seeing it. Haunt as well follows through. Around G2 going for this. Still trying to take this one with the rifles. In play again, down to just Tex. 1v2. Drop down to 25 health. He's avoiding it, trying to isolate it, find these fights on an individual basis.
Oh my god.
He's taken out the card, playing the second Valin. It's the IGL. He'll seal that one up. 10-7 now, sitting at that scoreline.
What a round. 3 the difference here as G2 get to double digits. Valin at 21 kills. That showstopper just designed to try to buy time, but Icy went forward, forced out, no kill. Jonah had to do a lot, picking up 2 on his lurk. And that's the advantage of Valin's attacks like calling to insert people into these positions. If the Nightfall catches 2 or 3 on C, he can always go back over to A and fill that space that Jonah P's created very easily.
Yeah.
But if he decides to commit to C, Jonah can be that backup element. The ace up his sleeve. Lev, back foot again. It has taken miraculous rounds, honestly. Think back to how they first got into this game with Aspas spraying down 2 with a hero Phantom kept. And it feels like Lev are keeping into this one, keeping the gap somewhat close by relying on those miraculous plays.
Oh, absolutely. And that first half performance, I think, as well, really necessitates it. But you know, cast your minds back to when G2 and Lev last played. G2 kind of dismissed them almost as well, and it was mainly off the back of these attack side calling and performances. It was the outplaying. It felt like Valin had access to all the information, and you're almost seeing it repeat here and now. Listen, the round's definitely been close. And trailing, past few at least still, but this is a G2 dominance on attack side that we're starting to respect at this point.
Let's make them dance.
Barring any miracles here for Leviathan, though. It will be round 19, the next after this, where huge ults are online. Economy's back. But don't count out this international super team. They've been given that label early on in the year for a reason, before we'd even seen them play a game, just based on the talent on the roster. And with Aspas taking contact behind the cam, it's really disguised.
Cam's going to be dropped. Bit of damage as well.
You see that neon stun, though? You know it's Aspas. If there's any hero rifle, it will be on him. I think it's the right call to go in a different direction.
Yeah. Jump spot and a shot fired.
Oh, King, come on.
Trying to bait him in here with a jiggle peek as well, but he's,
Oh my
he's
God,
rattled away,
come on,
revealed
bro.
a little bit here, still trying to go for the play once more. It's a paranoia. King not looking to evacuate. Oh my God, he's dropped down to 1 HP. We're seeing it here. Leaf still just maintaining control of that B main angle. Mazzino. Jump spots away.
Oh my God.
This is getting so damn precarious.
Oh
a series of fights that are going to be taken
The
out and
flag
across
was so dumb.
through the map. Two though, looking to now at least take this one with the body advantage into the guns. And I see left alone now to his own devices. It's a 1v4 to try and tangle with. Can't quite get through it.
Another round where Leviathan pull it out with tiny pieces of weaponry. How do they keep finding value in these moments? 2 rounds only on defense for Lev, and both in remarkable fashion. Mazzino's kill being able to get him that Rolling Thunder online. Economy flips again. Lev with the rifles. Lev with the better weaponry. This has to be the time where they finally capitalize on one of these opportunities afforded to them and get back into the game on even footing, rather than having to rely on winning the Thrifties.
It's big miracle moments, as we've been dubbing them. Comma's going to be feeling very alone, though, out towards this A site.
This time, Leviathan making a hard read that it's going to be a finish on B. You see the positioning of King, of Tex on the B site. They're hoping that this is fake A pressure that will lead to a pivot, because that's how G2 would get the best value out of their light weaponry.
Player positioning of Lev as well, indicating that they're expecting that. Aspas still holding it down out towards C-Mount, and he's ready to punish here with a fault line and a peek. Con wants to try and take this fight into it. It's a little bit whiffy, and maybe might not be paying off for them. It's a Rolling Thunder that has to be expended at least to try and save the day here, but Mazzino, he's not going to get any value from it. Everybody's disengaged.
There's no follow-up possible from that, and now he's tucked himself into essentially a one and done.
Oh no, just not expecting it. The wraparound of G2.
Not a done.
Full side control with a pit into the post.
Oh my God.
It's looking inevitable for G2 to wrap this one up. Retakes in this fashion. Leviathan again. Sound like a stuck and broken record here, but it would have to be a miracle. Tex to cam up into his face. Icy playing it forward. Approach position. Open to somebody who just walk straight into it. Still the nano swarms. First wave of things. There was no tap onto the spike again, but time is going to be running it short and shy away from the mark for them. Leviathan is starting to realize and recognize it, but maybe going for a bit of a pincer play here. It's a Paranoid that sweeps through alongside the door opening up and a wide. Icy looking to relieve that pressure again, but they are cleaning up still these through players into the back. But again, the spike is ticking. It's gone away from them. A lack of control at the time on the clock. It's the only element that was missing really from otherwise a pretty clean game plan, and still it will result in that thrifty win. An 11th round for G2.
I've seen so many of these. It feels like Leviathan are willing to take risks when they're the team on lower weaponry, but then they can't help themselves from taking the same level of risks when they're favored or when it's an even situation. Mazzino, I understand why he goes for the ultimate, to relieve the pressure, to buy time for Tex to come in and help him. But to tuck yourself into tree at that point when you have a rifle to work with, rather than taking a step back, that's just a plain old mistake.
Is going to be afforded this operator here. It's a little bit of an engagement as well being occurred. G2, they look to overwhelm it, but that delayed re-hit from Lev, the re-clear again, it did at least overpower them. So G2 now going to be still a player down, not that it stopped them in the past.
4-player stack from Lev on Rubble. They're clearly having a game plan here to drive G2 into sight.
Oh my
and into
God.
the Aspas op.
Exactly, the one to deliver that one. Like a railgun straight through mid. No one going to be passing straight back, but Leaf maybe creating some openings again. He's skipping and hopping around, maybe not even expecting his second play of Mazzino, because why would you? So Prowl and Util out into the hands. The movement, just enough. It's elegant in motion. This guy with a rifle aim as well. He was so calm and collected under the pressure of it.
Mazzino's been having a fantastic map. Team's still down, but they're going to look to tighten things.
And a shot baited out. Mazzino swinging off of it. You are right, Josh. He's having an absolute monstrous game on an individual basis. I mean, dead impressed with this guy's gameplay, I think, all throughout the playoffs.
Mazzino and Valen both having enormous impact with their rifling and finding value in scrappy situations. Again, mirrored with the fact that it was a bit of an error from Mazzino in the previous round that opened the door. But you take the highs with the lows. G2 once again are on a thrifty round. This is where I feel like a broken record here, Brett. Lev cannot be taking the same level of risks in these kind of rounds.
And so close again. These teams are just on the precipice, and what kind of advantages might they find? Aspas, at least with the overdrive, it's now in his hands as well. It's going to be shocking G2 to their core. Jonah Beto locking it down, not expecting the aggression. We coming swinging for round two. Leviathan.
We're doing this or what?
They're accruing up these rounds, Josh. They're certainly accruing them.
I like it. They
round
play
has been
together,
started,
they play
never
aggressive.
have been started.
Overwhelm G2. When Aspas goes deep, there's players behind. And Con finding great value off the back of a horn that wasn't broken. So now that lead narrows to just one. For G2 to close this out, they're going to need some of that big attack side calling and slower rounds too. Anytime it's an early round clash, Lever in the lead.
Usually going to be favored. Smoke and middle again from G2.
Okay.
You can see Mound off the orb tap, a potential play ready and waiting as well. They do have.
How do you follow
Util
up?
for it, exactly. I mean, Aspas has got the operator. It's not even like he's got a rifle lockdown.
No raise on the other side, no raise nade for Aspas to deny this. You have to respect it.
Clear open the path. Into action here, Entertainment onto Aspas. Can't play into it, Icy, he's so quick. In through the back lines, looking to at least alleviate this one. Make it just more winnable for the rest of his team. Trent now finally committing to this plan as well with the door opened wide and around. Tex making a peek and a thing for it still with a showstopper in through the back. No casualties there, but again, this has fallen to pieces here for Leviathan. All eyes once more onto Aspas and Mazzino. In through the back of the site, afforded a bit of that space once more, but again, the obstacles they have to navigate are numerous indeed. It's a seize. Laid out on top, at least with Icy going to be removed. Down to Nightfall as well. In through behind Mazzino. He just follows the traces, a point-and-click adventure game, but can't manage it. Tucked behind, at least through Mound. Every player possibility is there. Time is completely against them.
All of that investment, too late for Leviathan. G2 keep it simple, they keep it safe. A lockdown to open. Valen throwing the Omenal in there as well, because that lockdown has a small gap in the corner, making sure that Aspas couldn't play there. Push Icy deep, he controls the space with the nade, with the ult. And at that point, the round is pretty much sealed up. Lev do their best to try to get into things, but I think it was an overinvestment in the end from the Nightfall, because the time was just not there.
Yeah.
You can tell that this is not just a playoff game, but a game for a trophy, because you're seeing both teams willing to take the risks, but also making those small errors, overinvesting into situations, allowing the feel of the big match to carry them away in some of these spots where otherwise, perhaps, especially for Lev during the regular season, they might have maintained a bit more composure.
I think that could be the case with best of fives as well. Often the most winning element isn't necessarily sometimes the strats that you bring in or the form factor. It's about how long you can hold on, that endurance test as well. Making sure you don't crumble under the pressure of potentially seeing that trophy across the stage, looking to the side and understanding that you are literally one match away from lifting it.
And G2, despite winning the round, their economy broken again. So many thrifty rounds for G2 in this half.
Topsy-turvy.
And yet they're one away from winning on Lotus. But if Lotus is this close, and that's the map that Lev have been banning recently, anything's still possible from here.
Could be in for a barn burner here for the finals.
I mean, we could easily be in for overtime as well.
Nice pass again. Loves to be posted up here onto this angle again. Will respect the smoke into his face. A little bit too many angles. Boombot, nade. What a shot! Takes the peak straight into it. King just could not quite get out of there, though. The TP forwards and in. It's a committal by Valen. Dodging and juking, at least from the stun and away. Now the second round of things once more. It's a rolling thunder. Let's try and push them back. Aspas, rifle in hand now, trying to make the play in the moment, and he makes it work. Leviathan, they crushed him.
Oh my god! Oh my fucking god, bro!
That's insane to go for Aspas and Mazzino. First of all, what on earth was King up to? And then they decide to commit 2vx into the retake.
Yeah, I mean,
ignoring the fact that common techs are miles away on the other side of the map. Mazzino and Aspas are just like, should we go in and just win this round?
I mean, that is, I think, to a certain degree as well, the difference between maybe just playing to win rather than playing not to lose. In scenarios like that, Leviathan, they've been guilty of freezing up in moments, a lack of hesitation. There was none of that there. They took the fight straight to him, G2.
Oh,
still one round away from closing out Lotus, but now Lev one more to get that extension into OT.
Tex dodges the Nightfall, makes it feel like C is completely open. Can he work a pick here to put his team at an advantage? He's gonna look for it.
His kill trips a little bit deeper as well, just in case there is that backside control for him, but it's revealed up, at least by the Prowler. Cage forwards. Made again rebounding. Plan finally at least gonna go down.
But he's also stopped Icy from taking that area of the map.
Oh my
G2 with Pin.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be a tough retake.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult. They want to try and go for this one rapidly. Full attack, slowing him down. Tech still alive and kicking. Overdrive. Aspas, but lit up like a storm and a hail, and the bullets raining down the pit. Still, it's gonna be dropping. And a potential opening now for Leviathan, but again, that pressure is there. It's all for the map. We're opener here in this best of 5 grand final. Standard to take some space out and through. Door opens up and wide Leviathan flooding through, at least with the kills. Trent, he's going to dodge and juke and weave away, but too much to overcome. Leviathan still alive.
Let's go. We're so good.
All smiles from the left players. They know they've just pulled off an incredible retake there. The timing, the patience from King Adore. He was waiting there just to pull the trigger and throw the paranoia. And I think this kill that you just watched, Tex onto Icy, I think that made all the difference.
Yep.
If you've got a duelist inside a pit that takes out the first player and maintains that space on the map, you are probably winning the post plan.
Holy shit.
Tex slams a dagger into G2. Little bit of revenge. And takes his team to overtime, 12 to 12. What a recovery from Leviathan. Look at all of those rounds. 4 out of the last 5 that were played on this map. Valen's Calling has not looked like the thing that can make the difference just yet.
When he gets into OT as well, it's anyone's game. The nuances, the differences that have just been piling up, building all sorts of little bits of conditioning, sometimes just go straight out of the window.
Trent's been trying to make his position work inside Tree, but he's more been trying to just lure out the utility. He has been backing off and giving respect every time that door's opened.
Not choosing to fight it. G2 though, anchoring it down here. They're doubled up and holding. There's at least a Horn that's sent flying.
Think back to Lev's attack side. It was the A hits that were working. Nothing else really was finding too much value, but the A hits were great.
Exactly, and punishing that flood defense protocols that G2 have waiting, but this time there's an extra element. They all drop down to support and supplement, and at least dropping 2 of the bodies. Aspas decayed down, at least to the double digits, and Jonah P just walking around and away. Still claims the one. Aspas did lock his sightlines onto it, but he's no more for the world, and G2 finds that edge. 13 to 12. One more round to do it.
You were talking about playing to win, Bren. That round epitomizes it for G2. They have the tiniest gap there before Lev set up into their post plants and start pushing them again. And G2 find that little moment of respite and decide to pounce and put the pressure onto Lev. not going for those set retakes that they were favoring in the first half. Now Lev go for a very similar setup to what we've seen before. 4 players over here on the A side of the map. Jonah P is going to back this one up. Can Jonah give enough info to Valen so that they can call the hit on C? This one, though, actually looking like it might be a fake C, pivot B, based on where Jonah and Leaf are playing.
G2 making sure that they still have those options.
Tripwire destroyed.
Trip spotted out by the Prowler.
Generally speaking, you do not want to be going for the fake C into a B pivot because it pulls the A players over.
Aspas, heavily committed. Side by side, I mean, barely a wall to cover between them.
This was so amazing.
And this could be everything with a minute left. That's a one-way, or at least the smoke propped up. I'm not too sure of the sort, and it does force Aspas out of the picture.
They had a high-low setup there going.
There.
Aspas and King.
Still waiting.
Gets broken.
No reaction.
Like awareness.
Yeah, making it feel like they're going back in to take space on Rubble. But King reads it. The Lev players are going to be set up so quickly to flood defend on C and help Tex.
A lot's going to be asked of him. Tex, that anchoring spot as well. Stalwart defender out through the back of the site. It's a cacophony of util up into his face, and he can't quite do it still. The players are there, the door's open wide, and Aspas and Mazzino will at least seek to deliver a bit of respite. 13 seconds left, the plan needs to start going down, it needs to be committed, and spun down Mazzino, turned, out and through, rolling thunder, they want to go now, it's a rapid play and approach, at least with the paranoia again to supplement. Everybody's blinded up, nobody can stand their ground, and Leviathan once more, stay alive, 13 to 13.
All about the map control, all about the excellent calling there from King. They had full lock over towards A, deep info at Rubble.
Switching sides.
And Valen calls for his team to throw the horn, to pop all the Viper util, and make it feel like it could be an A re-clear. That's supposed to keep Leviathan players on A. And King calls his bluff. Jumps over the top of it. There's no one here, guys. Go get ready to defend C or B. Beautiful call, excellent read. The two Omens playing the mind games, and we go again in overtime.
What sort of adjustments are we going to be seeing from either side? We already saw it from G2. Heavy committal at the backside of A. But there's layers to it. Yatan might not be so obvious. Aspas. Ice cold, knowing that the teammates have got his back. In terms of breaking that utility, he glides away, but doesn't quite dodge that one. The Prowler's still connecting. Lights him up as well, cuts away to sound cues. Here's Aspas in for the back of the side again. There's no heaven smoke. Valen is way ahead of the rest of his team, and they're trying to supplement and support still. It's a crossfire setup that is not expected. It'll be a time. All the space in the ward out through the A site. Leaf. Definitely a chance to respond. Maybe he can make it winnable and doable, but just backs away to Haunt. Makes the decision easy for him. Again, a roll in front of Mazzino. I don't know how he's building these up, but this guy is on fire. And from the wraparound, Tex, it's a dagger and a blade straight to the back. Mazzino collapses. Straight onto him now. This time, Leviathan. One round ahead, one step to close out the map.
If Leviathan end up winning here on Lotus, on the map that they have usually been banning, they have, broadly speaking, one guy to thank, and it is Mazzino. Back-to-back rolling thunders.
There's no way.
In overtime. Not just that, 32 kills across the 27 rounds that we've played. He isn't just producing insane fragging output, he's keeping it up over a very long period of time. Way ahead of everybody else, outperforming superstar duelist Aspas on his own team. He's been unleashed. He has absolutely been unleashed by Hirupada's coaching. It felt like he was caged, trapped a little bit within the structure of Lev earlier on in the season. Mazzino's a guy that thrives under finding his own timings and relying on, flashing for himself and swinging.
Yeah.
In some of these spots, he's just been monstrous.
Synergy that he's had in the tail moments of many of these rounds. I mean, the lack of hesitancy to go for plays, the rolling thunders committed, the go button being hit.
And broadly speaking, Lev's defense strategies have been working. They've stacked 4 players A. They make sure that G2 cannot take Rubble. And then when G2 end B or C, Lev flood defend. It's quite a simple plan. But it's working so well, and G2 cannot come up with the answer for it. You might, at this point, need to genuinely re-clear rubble instead of just faking that you're doing it and ending A.
Very passive hold here initially by G2. Again, Jonah P, question's going to be asked of him. How much of that util did he hear? How much is going to be calling for the rest of his team? Adjustments already being made. Lev, triple stacked up. 3 players now. Make sure they can try and clear the front section of B.
It's looking so similar from G2.
Jonah P and Leaf themselves are also holding this one. This is a cheeky angle. Just misses it. Turret takes contact, still is a fight. Did he choose to take it? Baiting Leaf back in, but it's still being watched for. And again, what timing does he choose to take? Again, yeah, with the util coming through. This time it does need to be alleviated in the pressure. Surely Mazzino again, holding it down, rifle in hand, tapping away. It's precision, it's surgical. And Leviathan ripping away the opening mouth of our best of 5 grand finals.
It really does feel different today, Brent, compared to the time that these two teams faced last. G2 had double map veto, chose to take Lev to Lotus, the map that Lev have been banning recently, and still Leviathan persevered. We were so worried about this Lev team in terms of crumbling in big moments, not turning up in bracket games. You don't get a bigger moment than this in Americas.
Starting from the lowers, you know, every single disadvantage is afforded to you, like a prep time, an opening map that is just your uncomfortable territory. You don't want to be landed on it at all, but Leviathan are up. We're going to be stepping away. GB in the analyst desk, breaking it all down. Don't go anywhere.
We're so freaking happy.
Line's been drawn. They're picked to pieces.
Cloud9 are so good.
Damn. So cool. What is he doing?
Why don't you just move on?
I want to put crowd cam on.
Move him up. You should just make sure like either the bottom 3 of your crowd cams.
Yeah.
Damn. Holy shit. The Bustio. Holy shit. I didn't follow it? Damn.
He was playing insane in stage 1.
Wait, did you watch the game or
Bane?
something?
Yeah, I watched the game. Yeah,
Yeah, Bane was.
Yeah, well, I watched a game last night against Genji DRX, and Bane is. I don't care.
Dude, by the way, it was so funny when I'm watching Bind and you told him, yeah, Bane, you need.
Let's go. Let's go, let's go. We are going to take this shit, bro. What is it doing?
And then they say, so you can stream snipe, and then you
It's
say
still
no, and then you
pushing,
say
bro.
asking for a friend. You know how insane of a comm that is? You know how insane that is, bro?
I must stop their Reyna.
Oh my god.
Reloading.
Barrier deployed.
Reloading.
Enemy B.
Good.
Shut the fuck up, bro.
Spike down mid. One enemy remaining.
Reloading.
They're done. And so the battlefield changes.
Oh my god, I'm a cranky little bitch. I just don't know how this guy... I cannot believe the situation that I have found myself in right now, gentlemen. I have 5 Sentinels on my team, and let me tell you, I was the first... This guy, Hector, has more fucking dopamine crashing his brain than I could even imagine. And I'm stuck in solo QL on Valorant with 5 Sentinels on my team. Oh my god, bro. The difference between me and Hector's life right now is actually insane. Oh,
Reloading.
it hurts. It hurts so bad.
Barrier deployed.
Oh
hurts,
my
like, more than you
god.
ever know.
Down mid.
You should have dodged. I wasn't paying attention, dude. I thought I was doing everybody a favor by picking a Sentinel, bro. No lie. I legit thought I was giving everybody the round off. Like, hey, you don't have to think about it no more. You ain't got to think about a thing. Just pick your duelists, put your smokes on, and let's get jiggy with it. And now I'm sitting here with... I got to get the pen, bro. Something, man. I got to do something to rectify the situation. But if I walk inside that house right now and grab my pen with my wife watching my daughter on her wedding anniversary and she figures out
30 seconds left.
why the fuck I'm going to get that pen because I'm miserable doing the thing that I don't need to be doing right now. But I just want to play Val so bad.
Oh my
This is a
god, he was
fucking
so
problem.
dumb to get
This
picked
game
that
is ruining
shit,
my
bro. He was so dumb to be picked that shit.
If you are not doing well, keep trying. We must.
Shout out to
in a lot of their
Yeah.
attacking rounds later on into the half, and Mazzino was still coming up with so many different kills.
Yeah, no, it was certainly weird to see that play out, but it seemed to have worked out for them in the long run, right? They walk away with the dub. But for now, though, continuing to dive more into that, I do feel like what we saw from G2 early on, though, we saw some great defense, saw some great ideas. We saw them really work the map, work Leviathan. Unfortunately, it just petered off toward the end there.
They have the best defensive Lotus in the league right now. They're winning almost 10% more rounds on average than the average team in the league. They are excellent on this map generally, and I think we saw a lot of moments of that. I think Valen had some really good calls. They were shutting down Aspas early on a lot of these aggressive looks, and honestly, the synergy between these players looked super clean, but that all slipped in the second half for G2.
Yeah, I think obviously Valen was able to actually get a lot of these stacks going, even into the B site after Lev got into good situations when they tried to work back through Baby Door, through the door from the mound area. G2 just had stacks over here, and this round was a bit bizarre.
Look
Like
at the
the
style
spike.
of the Aspas, bro. Look at the playing style for the Aspas. Like, he's so aggressive and confidence level up to 100% plus. 100% plus. He was so confident by himself. Like, I can do it, bro. I can do this shit, bro. If I die, die. I trust you guys. You guys can come back. If we didn't, we can go for the next round. It's so bitter. Yeah, that was it. That was it. That's what we do. That's what we are. That is, we are going to do this shit, bro. We are going to take the shit. You guys are okay? Yeah, we guys are doing on it. Yeah, so this is on it. So, heaven. Bane, Essen, Avice. Bro, this is so cool, bro. It's so cool. This is so cool right now. Damn, see it? Damn. Bro, when the John HP at the 7th round, he had been the flanking for it. He was so red. I was actually so scared. Yeah. Flank was so freaking amazing in that moment. I thought, bro, this is the end of the Leviathan, bro. But mark my words. Say Leviathan gonna take this shit. Yeah, they had did it. let's go for the Heaven. So probably I really didn't even know about Heaven, but yeah, Leviathan is going to take the second one. For sure, for sure. They are going to take the second. Bro, I forget my water. Let me refill it. Let me refill my water. Get to. Wait, what? It had started? Soon? What the hell? What the hell?
Surely should be seeing this one coming as well. Plenty of more players gliding past, cuts up the crosshair placement. Reaction for the trade. Right here. This is a reaction, isn't it, as well? You can hear the scurrying of the footsteps. Com is the only one who was, well, he's going to be seeing this one. No way does he miss that. Oh my God, shot got off, but again, adjustment by Trent was just sublime. Spike going to be planted now. They don't have control of most of this one. Here's a flash inside the smoke. That is cheeky to catch out King, suspecting that they lost control of that part of the map, and it leaves it just down to Tex now.
Well, that is fantastic deathballing from G2 there. Spike not planted for the rest of the team, though. No aftershock.
Yeah, no one's...
There is a chance here that Tex could get at least half and make this difficult.
Paranoia to start. He at least gets the half as well. There's that win con earned as well, and he's chopped this one up. Sight being divided, but just can't quite wrangle his sight onto any sort of the players here. So G2 with a pistol round win, despite the fact again that they lost that opening. Icy dropped. G2 have a habit of that, to be honest. You know, they get themselves down in these player disadvantages, 4v5s, yet somehow always the calling is enough to sail them through it.
Yeah, I think that was a fantastic pivot, but also, what is that shot from Trent onto Com? Most of the time, 90% of the time there, Com is getting that kill very cleanly, and I can't blame him. It's just a nasty flick from Trent. Really well done in that moment to bail his team out of a tough spot. G2 take their 3rd out of 3 pistols. Lev have really struggled with pistol rounds in some big games this year. Lower bracket final of stage 1 against G2. They only won 1 out of 10 pistol rounds. And the first 5, I think it was, yesterday all went the way of Crew.
Very committed here, at least onto the eco. Com is able to get the one, trying to bait it up and set it up here. Pistols in hand, they are doing the work of it, Leaf. Doesn't quite have the weapon for the job, does he? Still flashed up, blinded up, but he's covered. Over the shoulder, that's Trent. making sure to lock this one down. Aspas in the midst of all of it, the chaos, he's found himself that upgrade, and maybe a few of these players again. Sights need to be trained cleanly onto these angles. He hears it, just a 1 foot step, and on just enough damage. Disengages, that discipline at work. Aspas thinking about going for a second go with things again, but it leaves it.
Oh, the timing is so perfect to be escaped on that position, bro. What the hell?
Leaving. Excellent information for him to be able to play around.
Yeah, I mean, Lev not interested in hiding their intent, are they? Open the sound cues, and as soon as that dart is revealed to the map, they realize, oh, wait a second, giving up the entirety of A. Very winnable still for Trent.
Shock dart would take down Aspas as well.
Oh, the two of them from the upstairs.
Really want to risk pulling out the util. It's double down from Lev again. Going to be using Aspas as a bit of bait. Still, ADS up and spotted a second one. Needs to just land it. The composure not quite there. Tex. Gotta be careful dropping down from there, man, but still,
oh my God,
he'll seal it up. That is so an eco-round win, and a misstep from G2.
I guess it doesn't matter if you're not winning the pistol rounds, as long as you can instantly respond with a Thrifty. It was a series of Thrifty rounds that got Lev back into the game, or at least kept that gap minimal throughout Lotus, to the point where Mazzino could completely take over at the end. G2 letting the fundamental stuff slip here. Unusual to see a team as wonderfully structured and very tight as G2, letting anti-ecos slip away from them.
The economy's right back up there here for Leviathan. They've even managed to afford to get the operator into Aspas's hands. G2, deep smoke and a dart as well. Mazzino to fly at least with a stun and an aftershock, seeking to delay.
Oh.
Now stacking with a couple of these bodies as well. The drone's broken, kill trips as well. This is being a real nuisance. Icy, of course, is going to be falling. Players are going to be swarming, though, into the side as well. Bodies trying to play with that player advantage. It's G2 with control of it, at least now for the C site.
Oh, the nice ground.
Was praying at least maybe for a bit of chip damage being done here with the shock darts.
Spike planted.
Flying through. Slight miss there in terms of these lineups as well. Has to deal with a little bit of it, and playing this retake. The Yob Aspas wants nothing to do with it. Maybe there's a gun to be retrieved, but it's risky business. Not quite.
Hoping that he could stop G2 from being able to get those upgrades, or at least get himself a rifle where he could have tried to commit to the retake.
Do you even play this?
I don't know if you can.
Oh, he's so confident.
Trying to head into this one with the operator again. The first flick and adjustment of shot missing from Aspas. They expect it. Suspecting the backside player with Valen removed again. Dart laid for all words, but that stun just connected with a friendly fire. Leaf. Oh my, still healthy and still in the fight. A Thrifty win is answered back in kind. G2 up to 2.
So similar to what we were seeing in the back end of Lotus. Teams trading blows with lower economy. The Lev players perhaps overcommitting slightly there to the anchoring on site. That swing from Mazzino. He has been so good today in terms of getting kills in difficult spots like that. But there have also been some moments where the looseness with which he plays has ended up being a lifeline for G2 to grab onto. Economy flips in the other direction.
Yeah, once more familiar scenes here. It's an early fault line though.
Aspas pushing
and
mid.
the aftershock, and Aspas deep push down mid. Paranoia as well, sweeping through. A lot of chaos and a lot of noise. It's all about expectations, whether or not G2 are going to be ready to receive this one, but
Leaf is watching.
Aspas doesn't want to overstep it. That drone as well, the re-clear. There's that discipline.
And nice.
Aspas is trying to make the most of it here. He's kind of out alone though, on an island. There was no support.
Really, really well done. Aspas used his wall at the beginning of the round, and Leaf was listening out for it. Realized he got past the turret. These are the kind of things that you need to see both of these teams controlling. Scrappy situations, other team trying to make risky plays to see if they can get the win on the Thrifties. And you just got to control the game. Here's another risk being taken.
Yeah, and it's Leaf on 30 health, watching the flank as well. One shot will do it to the chest as well. A little bit sleep at the wheel, still manages it, but he's not going to be expecting King. He wrapped his way around and through, and now rejoining potentially with the rest of his team. Rifles gained.
What do you do? What do you do if you're G2 here? Do you try to push spawn? You only know that there's one player behind.
Yeah, not a lot of information to work with here, and they've even planted for the front section of the site. So instead, looking to try and fight Hard and fast now, out through the short angle. Trent jiggles, takes the contacts. Util flies, but a bit of a team flash as well. Blunders occurring and up through A long as well. They've already walked their way through. Icy, he's not watching for this cross-up. Comma's got so much space in the midst of all of this, and a tap reveals his position once more. Fights to be taken out through short. They're smoked off and away. Com blindly away here with the tide as well, spraying. But as well covered, out and through, he's taking matters into his own hands, pressing the advantage. King, now sticking, having a defuse, but managed in kind once more. Com to deliver that round straight to Leviathan. It's another bloody thrifty round.
No team able to stabilize in these spots. Whoever's willing to take the risk, whoever's willing to play to win, the team that comes out on top.
Holy shit.
Feels like one of the moments where G2 actually give way too much space and respect to their opponents. I think you'd said it. Com was just afforded a ton of space on site there. The plant goes down, everyone plays for short, but that also means that you're allowing the Lev players to stand in any spot they like.
Yeah.
All right, how are G2 going to win this one then?
He's going to be following the script once more. I mean, it's literally part of the course, isn't it? A lot of util being expended out towards C. The difference, though, so Aspas is here. A lot of these Leviathan players ready to put a stop to it, and G2, they don't want anything to do with it, not for now. Nana Swarm breaks some of that util out through Garage. It's just sowing a bit of deceit into the mix as well, just trying to see if Leviathan will go for a bit of that re-clear.
Finding these timings after the drone util is used, a very common tactic that Valen likes to go into. But they're worried that somebody could be posted up. So the drone in the other direction, making it feel like they're going towards A. But I don't think they'd ever really be pathing in that direction, giving it away with the Soviet util. Lev have got a nice read here.
Yep, it's a crossfire. Guard in the back as well, needs to be managed. Stun. It's that connection. King stood in place, anchored, feet onto the floor. He's the one who's got to push this one back. That's if G2 even choose to commit into it, but still 35 seconds left. Might not really have any other options. Aspas has full control of the deep long section of C.
30 seconds
There is no pivot possibilities, and so they're going to have to meet these bodies head on once more. Lev have to do it. King dropping them all down to the ground. And the cross up as well. Leaf just about finding it, but still his position is noted. Time running short, and away here, everything being watched for Leviathan. This time it goes to the expected result. The team with the better weapons ends up winning the day.
Who would have thought? Lev had such a nice read on what was happening there. Once more, you know, Valen's attacks like calling, not finding anywhere near the same level of success compared to the last time that these two teams faced off. I really did not expect Lev to have been able to adjust their defense and the reads that they're getting based on that one clash, especially considering they were going straight into back-to-back BO5s. But they've got such a nice idea about how Valen's moving around the map. Aspas fighting straight in.
That's a solo play, man. He's heavily alone here. There's a Hunter's Fury. Cuts it up, not enough for the kills. A lot of damage done, though. A lot of players from G2 going to be weak here in that rotation around, and Com was just none the wiser. Not expecting that mid could be pushed up and pressed like that kind of position here, but it's a double face out wide. No util in their hands, not even necessary. Instead, it just cuts it up enough for Trent to be plucked out of the picture, and now sending it over towards A. G2.
Mazzino.
Yeah, ult committed. Mazzino again might just be that playmaker. No way, straight through the box. It's Icy. Just drops him. Fades to black there. Sent back to the spectator screen, and massive player advantage now for G2.
A fake smoke, making it feel like you're smoking that off to retake through the normal avenues. But King gives himself a little area if he wants to try to push through it.
And they are low.
Jonah's got to watch both of these. It's his job to try to cover long and short. Valen's got the spot.
And it's still not solid. And these players are as weak as they are. They fall. Leaf is miles away. NoFF reveals it, and now he has to get a move on. Nana Swarm, not potentially even there as well. It's just being stuck all the way, covered into the corner. Nana Swarm will force it back away, gives him that lifeline, but swinging wide. Takes control to it.
Oh my god.
How have they pulled that one out? A horrible opening to the round from Leviathan. Salvaged.
They are
King's positioning. Honestly, they had players watching it. Valen, weak in hell. But then also to have Jonah P a default, and King dismisses them both.
It's these skills here. I mentioned all the players were weak. It didn't even matter. It was all precision. It was all headshots.
Yeah. That's just fantastic impact from King, who has recently been the heaviest fragging from an IGL that I've seen across any league.
Yeah, at some point, what was it, like 0.8 kills per round that he was on?
I mean, he's just been delivering. At various times, Valen has been outperforming him. You know, the peaks have been there, but in terms of consistency throughout these games since Shanghai, King has been on fire individually. The questions have come more around, what do the defensive setups look like? Is the calling there? Do they perform in big matches? But today, turning up. 3 rounds in a row from Lev. And like I said, that one off the back of a really wonky play to start things off. If they can recover even rounds like that, G2 are in trouble.
So Leviathan that pushed to the limit in the match the other day. As we've been saying, not a lot of time to rest, recuperate, prep even into this matchup against G2. But so far, looking well on their way to potentially stealing away this Haven map.
5 light armors here for G2, headed into Aspas, who has an outlaw. This looks like carnage on C.
Yeah, he might be about to clip farm. This guy, it's a drone in his face at least. We'll have to dodge this one. No one's ready here. Won't stretch as far though. Duration's going to be breaking. Still with that as well. Hopping, skipping, over and about. He's playing skip rope over him and the Hunter's Fury in his face. Will not deny anything. He's lighting him up. My God. G2 left flustered into the mix. Wondering what went wrong there. Where was the possibilities? Couldn't get a handle or a grip. Losing control and sight now of the round. At least they have the C site in its entirety. Still Lev are going to play this one with that discipline. They're holding, they're waiting. They know that the win cons are in their hands. A jiggle peek from Commie gets all the info that he needed.
They are giving G2 a little bit of space to work with, but obviously Leaf and Trent need kills here.
And it all comes down to this. Just missing the sides of each other.
Saw him.
Oh my goodness, Leaf just spotted and pinged out now. The rest of them hot on the heels.
God.
Patience playing as they twist and turn around. Only one to remain is Leaf. He's gone. He's finished. 5-2. Leviathan are just dominating this map.
Aspas having that Aspas impact. I called out the Outlaw. It looked like he was set up to just plug people off. It's the ult in the end that gets the value. You see that all of the utility coming through is expecting a player to be behind Plat. They're not actually throwing that Sova ult to try to clear that corner. And so, huge amounts of utility and ults invested, but just a small gap that Aspas takes full advantage of.
This is so perfect.
And here's a full aggressive play here. Nothing being held back by G2. But you've got to take A in 2 waves of things, and he's already spotted out, and that's going to force it out into the open. Aspas will be traded. Gives up the gun too.
It's not the most useful gun to work with. Everybody on Lev has full armor. I think Icy's got to do more.
Tanked up, committing some ult. Whoa! All in thunder, refinding Mazzino. And this is him just trying to make the play as well. Expecting that one, he's out open. Util away, he's, oh my goodness, single digits of health, and remaining will be dropped at least in an analysis from Com. He's got to do a lot, but still can. Not against the overwhelming pressure of G2, leaving it to that 2 versus 2. You can feel it. It's frantic.
This is where G2 need to calm things down. They got a 2v2. Had weapon upgrades, Tex. Lever constantly looking for these moments to re-clear, to go for the solo pushes out. G2 now with the information. They know where both of these players are. They're going to look to try to book it in the other direction. Jonah with ult. This round now should be favored towards G2, but we've seen absolute madness so far.
Yeah, who knows which way it's going to be pivoting towards.
Spike planted.
Leviathan, Tex and King. Shoulder to shoulder. Tech's way ahead of the rest of his team, in fact. Look at this guy. It's all the way in through the back of the site.
A little bit of pressure first, then a breach ult, then the recon dart's going to come back online.
There's no way. The call's been made. They know on the first tap the Rolling Thunder's going to be coming out. Jump spot around, surely. Noise indicator. Jonah P's got to suspect it and know it. They're walking right into him and maybe just into the trap. But Trent, round and through, flanking around here. King, surely he's revealed it. Potentially, it's there.
The recon's good.
Yeah, forces him backing out. And now Trent knows he's not going to be sticking it. That is right on the money, I think. King's going to stick it all the way, but he gets off it, hearing the footsteps, the rumbling coming straight towards him. And G2 barely squeezing away with a round.
It's another situation where Leviathan end up throwing away an anti-eco round. I don't mind the play from Aspas necessarily, but it is a little bit of an overinvestment. It's Mazzino once more. It's so strange to have a player who's clearly dominating and yet also making decisions that are tossing away some rounds that should be played a little more safely. The Mazzino breach ult and the follow-up off the back of it caused absolute chaos, in short, and the chaos is going to favor the team at the disadvantage. Can you get the good without the bad from Mazzino today? Can you allow him to play loosely and get all of the success of Lotus without the thrown rounds? I have no idea. And here comes G2 again.
Yep, might have another chance, I think, here to roll in Thunder again. Sweeps through most of the site alongside the rest of the util. Aspas is early, been taken out again, takes us so far ahead of the rest of his team. He's praying that nobody will be onto him, but that high ground angle, Icy could see all 3 players versus the 5. Leviathan. To turn the tide to this one, you'd need a lot. And it might just not be possible.
They still have Flash, Paranoia, Recon. You know, the tools are there for them to be able to attempt to retake.
Backing away.
I'm a little surprised by that. I know it's a 3v5, but trying to do economy damage to G2, and with all of the util that Lev had available in that moment, I think it's worth a little bit of a punt in a spot like that. But it looks like they just want to maintain hold of the operator. Aspas, of course, the only player on Lev with really bad economy. He's been buying the big boomstick for himself.
Yeah.
So G2, that's a pretty easy one for them to get on the board. They just go for the breach ult into C. It's simple.
They are so bad.
I'd say as well, one thing that's really subverted my expectations for this is I think the pace that G2 are coming at Leviathan all the time. There's a lot of these rounds that are opening up. They're just making a decision based off the first initial pieces of util. Leviathan are forced to take a timeout, step back, reassess.
Leviathan is taking a
Losing those back-to-back rounds there, but yeah, it's a different look for G2. I mean, maybe potentially playing a part by the fact that they're in the finals here, maybe feeling a little bit flustered, panicked, feeling like they have to make the plays in these moments.
I think so. I think that generally speaking, G2 have been horrendously calm under pressure. I mean, scary levels of calm under pressure. But this is a different beast. They've been in spots like this before, in stage 1, and they did end up losing to 100 Thieves.
Who is this?
He escaped the wall.
I agree with you, though. I think the frantic pace of this game, quite different to the last time we saw these two teams. And perhaps just because of the pressure of the moment. 4-5 can go in either direction. But a round win here for G2 would do some level of damage to the economy. And King still with 5k to work with. The fact that they saved in the previous round has given them a bit of a buffer to not worry about losing this one too much. They could even get the ult back online again. They know that Leaf has been putting this turret down on top of the headshot box at Grass. Does Aspas go for the early peek here and try to pick off the Sentinel on G2?
Yeah, might be looking for it. Glide forwards, maybe take that early time, but no, just holding it. Slightest of angles. And does Leaf step into it? That's the big question. Aspas, we know his reactions are up to scratch. Close quarters, in through the door. Leaf is gone!
Let's go! Let's go!
Suddenly gaps emerge all over the map for G2. You're not sure if somebody's pushed out C, taken mid control. You feel pressured here to end A, but there's still a minute and 15 on the clock.
Rotation.
You could still go and get info. They're going to come in.
They're rushing into it again once more. The anchoring player is still out through the back. This time Corm is deleted out through the back of the side. Finally, Mazzino cleaned up. It's still a multitude of damage that has been done, including the spike drop down towards the back. Finally reclaimed. Trent going for the plan, but it's still that 2v3. And as this smoke fades, options are plenty. Aspas misses it. And Icy needed to take a risk like that. The duel is being earned. Drop down from Tex. I'm going to go for this one. A rapid play. Paranoia sets him up beautifully. Another 2 versus 1. Trent up and above. The start will reveal quite a lot, but he needs to pick his timings well. It's a tap. Recon dart is going to be broken. to know where the two of them are. Doesn't even know if they're still potentially now off of it. So their second time, waiting round. Shorty in his face. King needs to hit the shot and will. The IGL coming up with the goods.
Bro, this is the reason.
Buying his time,
so
waiting.
I mean, bro.
There we go. Got to it eventually.
There wasn't much feeling in that, to be honest.
So
His brain's been
amazing,
overworked thinking
bro.
about the next round. How does Icy survive in this situation? Flashed up. Mazzino much more focused on shutting down the people coming in after the duelist. And getting vindicated by making that decision too, because Lev end up winning the round off the back of things. You see there how that early pick onto Leaf forced Valen's hand though, and played exactly into how Lev wanted the round to go.
Deep fault line. Com will be playing this position almost every single round.
But they
defense protocols.
They do change up who's around comps.
They do.
Sometimes it's Aspas, sometimes it's a 3-player stack like we saw in the previous round.
Here, it's King pressed up, straight up against the wall here. Now, this drone needs to be broken. King, what is your exit strategy? I mean, Aftershock, TP away, Aspas is covering it. Cloudburst, drop down, maybe even just helped him escape.
God.
Leaf does answer though, returning with that fire and a rifle, still revealing it up now. The Hunter's Fury is going to be offloaded. G2 again pick up that pace, increase that tempo, and taking the fight straight into that C-side. Still, players approaching the position here. Lev not willing to give this one up, not without a scrap and a fight. And Joey's team, yeah, no way. There was an abundance of it. Shakhtar Aftershock, slow to a crawl. Did not stand a chance.
Trent's going to try to apply some pressure over towards A and pull people off the C side, but he could die to Tex.
He's got the spike and dropped from behind. Tex,
it's over.
It's the round-winning moment. There's nothing left really for Valen to do. We'll try and keep this rifle.
2 and 8 from the attack side IGL, I think showcasing in the numbers how difficult he's found it to get a grasp on this game.
Yeah.
He had a pretty good idea at the beginning of Lotus, that first half, and then it all slipped away from him on his favored side. And now, with the opportunity to have his impact again on the attack side, he just hasn't been able to find it. Surely the rifle taken away from him. And one more chance for Valen to try to stamp his impact on the game in round 12.
Yeah.
But it has all been Lev. I don't know how King kills Leaf in that spot either, but the Lev response to what's going on, the help utility, the constant people rotating over, G2 have not been able to find those gaps in the defensive setups at all.
Oh, and I think they've just been forcing the issue a little bit too much as well. Lev are so eager to take these fights to re-clear space, even if they're just doing it on their own.
And it's been working so well.
Yeah, they've just been disrupting the timings that G2 are taking. That's
No
a
way.
TPD, that's committed by Valen. Out through the back, there was at least a dart there, and he has Lee splashed up, needs to be defended, no way. It's not being held down with Tex dropped. There's a potential for G2, even with those weaker weapons. Let's get that round and maybe make the half respectable. Dart over the top, Hunter's Fury now. This is all going to be used to see if they can claim at least one of the kills, one of the tags, at least damage done. Com can't quite claim it.
They used Recon Dart in the midst of that to try to find the pick, so now they're not going to have it available to go for this retake. They can wall, they can paranoia, but G2 should be pretty solid here.
Aspas, he split up the side. The paranoia is perfect as well. Blinds it up towards the corner, but the Elise is being covered. No way! King! No way! 3 fouls. Com has been given this lifeline, but still too much to deal with. Expecting a Heaven player, just it, round and away, reload. And a stick. Com onto the defuse. Nano Swarm, narrowly avoided. Half at least it's a wing on there, but he can't quite stick it again. Time running short. Leaf to deny.
Well tried, boy.
A 7-5 half here that we end on then for Haven. A lifeline to grasp to for G2. This round given a little too easily. Tex overwhelmed in his anchor position. Mazzino, you see there saying, didn't notice the Omen ult coming through. In the midst of all of that chaos, Valen finding that final round, the final impact to make this one doable. Every pistol's gone the way of G2 so far. They look like they need another.
We'll see if the trend continues on for Haven. This has just been purely explosive so far, and plenty more to come.
Oh my god, this is so good. Retake is so good, bro. Retake is so good, bro. Retake is so freaking out. Just retake. So.
What's good, everyone? We're outside at the block party. How you doing? All right. Incredible stuff. All right. Well, we got to do some business here real fast. Let's go ahead and talk about what we just saw in that first half. And boy, oh boy, in the beginning, it felt as if it was going to get a little muddy there. A lot of eco round wins on both sides of the field. But it's interesting to see how it all stabilized toward the mid.
And honestly, it did get muddy. I think that G2 gave a big opportunity to Lev in losing that first map. They came out here, they won 2 eco rounds in the first few rounds of this game and have catapulted that into a massive lead now with a lot of the same win conditions from map 1 continuing here with Mazzino and Otzboss and how they're setting the team up for success in these early rounds.
Yeah, I mean, those early rounds, it allowed them to get the off in Otzboss's hands very early on. He was super dominant holding down into C-Long. Even when he had the ult, getting 3 kills down there was absolutely insane. And this is a Leviathan that are winning map 1 ahead at the second half here.
Yeah.
Against a G2 that has won 3 out of 3 pistol rounds on the day, which is crazy.
Yeah, absolute insanity. We're going to be going back to the cast in a little bit, but first, we're going to give some free stuff!
GB, ever the showman. Ever the showman.
He knows what gets the people going.
Exactly. He knows how to work a crowd, and I respect it, man. But we are heading into that second pistol round here of a Haven. Just to set your sights onto this one here, and the analyst desk is right. G2 won 3 out of 3 so far. The ecos have been swinging wildly, oscillating back and forth, so maybe the advantage hasn't been that much there for them, but they'll be looking to potentially get another one under their belt. We'll see.
Trent has got to call for help here.
Yeah, already
make a decision. Do you anchor or do you leave?
It's a little bit of hesitancy still. There's defensive smokes that have been propped down and placed. Still flashes evened out on either side, but no swings from G2. Players are barely in position onto the approach. And are they going to be ready for this one? Locking it down, pistols in hand. It's Leviathan. We'll find the day. And the advantage now here for them.
That's such a sick idea from King.
What? Oh, how has that happened? Leaf's just wrapped his way all the way around and the spike has been dropped down into short. King, suddenly, it's a 180. What should have been theirs? The timing was taken against them. That's Leaf giving them a taste of their own medicine.
It's right in
those quirky timings that Leviathan was so eager to take as well, catching G2 off guard, but not this time. This time, man, all G2.
I was all ready to praise Lev for a great pistol round idea. King bought a shorty on the pistol round because he knows that that smoke is going to be thrown down on A. So look, he jumps into the smoke with a shorty, jumps out of it. Lev have got this round, and again, a G2 player steps up and saves the pistol. Very similar to round 1 on this map, where both felt like better ideas from Lev, and yet G2 come through 4 out of 4 pistols secured, and still looking like the team on the back foot in this game.
Yeah. Matters into his own hands here. Nice, he can't quite dodge fault line in his face. But he won't be feeling too much more past that. Lev just inserting King into this forward spot out towards C, and now it looks like the goal might be a little bit of A pressure. Maybe the orb if it can still be reclaimed.
This is the kind of stuff that Valen wasn't really calling on his attack side. These slower rounds where the burst of early map control inserts a player there. Perhaps they were worried about contacting into the Aspas AWP later on. Or maybe thinking that Lev would go for reclears and people in these inserted positions would die.
Only text revealed by the drone.
Well, Trent forced to take a risk here on the anti-eco, but he does get good information back for the team. With the one-way short and the jiggle peek A, you're feeling fairly good that it's headed in a different direction.
Onto the eco. Very quickly, this could turn onto the heads of these G2 players. Starting to get a move on now. Nano Swarms at least will delay this one. Hit's still going to be attempted to come through by Leviathan as well. Through and back, and the stuns do their job. Icy, he can't quite stand his ground and take the shot. He's hoping to see if he can push them back, but it's an open sight gained and granted now for Leviathan. Come with the plant.
Spike planted.
No, don't go ahead.
Tex is being watched for. Fault line as well. These shock darts, where the hell are these coming from? Leaf is dropped, and you can't let this escape you. Another pistol round into a Thrifty would just be dire for G2. Got to try and take this one now. Potentially together with that utility in hands. Well, they just sweep through them.
Safe hands from G2 this time at least. So they've drawn things back, level 7-7. This round, we saw Trent pushing out over towards A. The flank didn't actually end up having the value. He reconnected with the rest of his team. But that means that 2 out of 2 times on the defense here, and what a ridiculous shock that is. 2 out of 2 times we've seen somebody push aggro as the execute is coming through. Leaf got that flank timing on the pistol, and now Trent's trying to do it on the other side. Something to keep an eye on. It's tough to go for those kind of defense side pushes and not get punished. Especially when you should be running into the trips from Tex.
Heavy lean though from Lev here.
Blocking sight.
It's a dart over the top. That was dealt with as well. Cleaned up. Icy still locking it down, but with that outlaw in hand. Nails a shot into Mazina, but unfortunately not enough damage. No half armor in sight.
I think that's an extremely bold play to go for. You know, even if you're peeking into one, they're probably going to have full armor.
And here comes the play here. It's a drone supplemented in. Buys him a bit of that space and time. It's an aftershock up into the corner as well, but it's being thrown out on Ivan's side here. It's an even exchange with the util and potentially the guns to make a difference. Leaf, he tucks himself up and cuts it up close into the corner. Mazzino! He's delivering death blows, man, raining them down onto G2. And the options limited now for Trent to go for. He's playing a bit fast and loose into this, but it's a 1v3 and you've got to do it. Still doubled up. The discipline will sail it away for a 11-round win.
If Mazzino keeps finding impact like this in the middle of rounds to pick up 2 kills, 3 kills, these big multi-round series of kills are the thing that rocketed them to success late on Lotus. He's so sharp with it in these scrappy moments.
Oh,
he's not rocketed up towards the top of the scoreboard just yet.
So amazing.
And G2, Leaf once more, I mean, investing into the bonus round, so he ends up round 16 with a Stinger light armor. We saw this on Lotus as well. It does confuse me.
Economy's going to be lacked in that certain aspect here. Still, it's slow and steady by Leviathan, all holding out through a lobby. It's a stun and a follow. Wait, is this play that's occurring here with the Hunter's Fury? At least it does supplement it, but that's at least on the attack side. They're just trying to offset this one here. Aspas glides into the fight, willing to take it. And heads are being ripped clean off in the process. Deep lurks occurring. Jonah P and Valen have got to lock down their section to the side. They're still locking this down, but time has been bought. And that's for the Tex wrap around here. Strikes them right where it hurts. Right where they weren't looking here, but they still haven't dealt with Jonah P. All being considered. Rolling Thunder to at least delay, push them back, and around Mazzino. He's on an island, needs to be covered here. Not doubled up by the players that left. Still eager to take the fight, but through the box, Aspas will land those shots. Leaf.
So rad, bro.
He was out of the fight this entire time, just wondering which direction to even take it. But now, finally,
every round he flips.
He broke 2 trips. One over here, one over here. They realize that Leaf is probably going to be behind. That's why Leviathan are checking short.
The plan isn't even good for them either. Here, Leaf, potentially a great spot, but with Mazzino's ult online, the tap is in order. He's not going to be able to get a half, is he? Aspas knows it. He's running him down here. Kicks it into overdrive.
Go, go, go.
Nicely done from Leviathan. As I said, as soon as Leaf was breaking the trips outside C and then outside A, Lev responded by looking to try to take spawn control. I mean, reacting very nicely to what was going on there. Even with Jonah P throwing out the breach ult in the midst of all of it. The gaps that Lev are finding already early in this half, G2 didn't find a single time. And Tex lurks his way through B for the backstab, taking out Valen in that spot off the back of all of the pressure. Way better attack side calling already. King subverting our expectations.
expecting that battle of the IGLs as well, where Valen would be holding that potential advantage. It just hasn't been the case. Cool, calm and collected. It feels like Lev entering this grand finals from the lower bracket, not flustered, in control.
This time, the C pressure does not leave somebody inserted. So balancing that out, sometimes depositing somebody in that cubby, sometimes not. Always threatening that they could be going in a different direction. Can they dodge this drone?
Right here.
Doesn't see...
Yeah, doesn't see anybody.
Doesn't see anyone, I don't think. There was a ping, though. And people are starting to come to A.
They're not really ready for anchoring utility. G2, these players are going to be overwhelmed. They don't even have the weapons for the job.
Take flight.
Giving up all the space out towards A, and now you're going to see the util exploding out onwards. That's a shock tower. Will at least take him out of the drone animation. Not going to have that one to set the stage in through this A side. Instead, a pause has been called by Lev, but now looking to try and strike straight through and around as a smoke into their faces, but they do need to deal with lighting these players up. Util is plentiful, and the rifles alongside it. Viatan, very clear in terms of how they wanted to take this round and this site in general. The game plans are definitely there for them. It's a paranoia that's used basically in vain. No follow-up from it. Only 2 to remain here from G2.
One enemy remaining.
Not long for this world, it seems.
Lev have put some serious work into building out attacking protocols on this map. Not only is their macro pathing really nice, but as soon as they get to A and they realize that Valen's defensive smoke is going to be up, they've got multiple ways of dealing with it. You know, sometimes it's going to be King jumping in there with a shorty, like on the pistol round. Other times, they throw stun in there with the shock dart to try to clear it out before going through it. They've got Sova utility that they can use to clear it too. Look at the amount of pressure being put there onto Icy and Jonah P when they tried to play around the smoke. Last year, when we had the Viper meta, a smoke in that spot, teams just did not know what to do. You're seeing the constant evolution of the game. And Lev, really impressive the way that they've come into this match. Super prepared.
It looks excellent. Top to bottom. Tiny little changes, and even this one throwing it in. Look at this, all this pressure applied. Aspas is trying to squeeze these players. They might be anchoring into the link, but rifle in hand. Valen will save the day just for now. Potentially with that lifeline, and now a Hunter's Fury. Trent will take spotted out, lit up like a beacon. Mazzino through and out, side by side here, alongside the flash as well. Was an anti position that's played and swinging out wide into it. Do not let this slip, G2. But a massive advantage leading into this. Viatan in the middle of all this chaos as well have managed to carve out a place onto the seaside. It's a plant down now.
Com has to be the difference maker. He knows he's got to make the play.
Doubled up through, in through garage. Icy and Trent combine their might there, at least to drop those players. So G2 not out of the fight just yet.
No, a set play, straight from the strat book out of Leviathan. Different to what they've been running, usually going for that more defaulty approach. And this time G2 come up with the answer very quickly. It's one that they've seen before. The fake B exec into applying a lot of pressure to top garage. Been a strat that teams have run for a long time, and G2 with the protocol nicely deal with it. One away from having a Hunter's Fury there for Com. Leaf on the other side. One away from the lockdown. Might be a bit of a race as to whether Leaf can get it in this round before Com has the answer.
I'm looking at Icy with his op too. Potentially stunned off the line, but he might be able to tuck if he's fast. Fault line for a fault line. Just being held by Mazzino. It's a dart. Being exchanged on either side as well. TP from King is good to cut this up.
Dart didn't get broken, so he doesn't go for the stun. Is he going to pop it out again?
Smoked off though. No. Drone deep down A short.
You can tell though that they're aware that Icy could have an operator. They're keeping track of the economy pretty nicely. But that fault line has been saved. How do they navigate this? It seems like King has a read that the op is playing A long.
It's a pretty heavy one. And Texas entire time he made sure that nobody could cross the boundary straight down mid. Viatan now all grouped up. Once more looking to light up this B site, potentially get that plant down on top of it. Tex has been eager to take these timers against them. The alarm bots.
Inch by inch.
Yeah. He's going to be holding them back. Mazzino with a plan. There was nothing to push this away here. So Leviathan now going into the post plant, and it's all about how you play. With Tex removed, that's one problem out of the picture here for them. With a lockdown now dropped down, that's also going to be creating some opportunities. G2 pushing back these players. Leviathan out and away, in through the window. Leaf just takes a peek at just the wrong timing there. Unfortunate not to get a kill, and Trent also wrapping all the way around. Is it going to be watched? Plenty of backs towards him. They know how this one's being played. Valen, a tap onto the defuse as well. Noise and chaos into the mix. It's pandemonium, but maybe that's where they might thrive. Trent delivers it. A death blow straight from behind. A full flank paying off. Rifles in hand, but not enough to stop the defuse.
Slightly concerning towards the end there that they gave Con the double, but generally speaking, lovely defensive setups again from G2. I spoke about the battle of getting that lockdown online before the Hunter's Fury is able to counter it. And that's what really makes the difference here. I think Tex did a great job at slowly slinking his way into position, but he just picked a slightly wrong timing. Leaf gets the kill, lockdown's online, and then the taps on the defuse is just fake pressure to allow Trent and Leaf to get those flank plays working. Very nicely done there. And again, Leaf beating Com to the punch on the ultimate, getting it online in round 19, ended up being all the difference maker. Lev now take a timeout. I think the slow rounds were still working very nicely for them. Their ability to push Tex into backstab positions, I think he should have a pretty nice read on where Leaf is placing all of his Killjoy utility at this point.
Yeah, it feels like it's been getting a ton of value throughout the second half, but last 2 rounds the G2 have been able to win for whatever reason, you know, forcing Lev to hit that panic button, discuss it and talk it out, because you are right, you know, the slow play. Tex has been finding all sorts of gaps in those defensive protocols.
And what a battle that is between the 2 Sentinel players. Tex replaced from the G2 roster. Leaf originally was coming in to play Duelist. It didn't work. They had to pivot things around, remove another player, net, and put Icy in.
There's not as much bad blood between these 2 teams, but Tex did say today in the pre-show that the win here today, this would probably be one of the most impactful highlights of his career.
Yeah.
Just because it would be against, you know, his former compatriots, his former teammates.
I think that resentment from early on in the season has been hardened into some cold determination to try to rise above this G2 roster that replaced him.
This is very different from G2. There's nothing to set up Icy with this operator. He's very much alone over towards A. In an almost committed position. Lev have walked all the way up, but so has G2. With the wall up in his face alongside the util, he will respect it. He's backed out and away in his flank now. Has to be the defining moment here for G2 as well, as they're wrapping this all the way through. Putting a bit of tempo into it. The dart is dealt with. Drone as well. Now going to be supplementing. Tex might even just press the advantage and push forwards with this one. Have they missed Leaf? That's the question here. Shoulders peeking out. Tex still opts into it.
That's a great
fight. One out. Hunter's Fury! Just from the low ground, aftershocks all combined. And the fall damage for it. Trent and Icy left alone here.
Oh my God!
This guy, precision is off the charts!
Oh my God!
G2 on that round were trying to make it impossible for Lev to figure out how many are on the flank and how many are in spawn and heaven. They push 4 players on the flank and then Valen ults back into heaven to make it impossible for Lev to react in a certain direction. But the Lev players just end up finding so much value stuck on the site.
Yeah.
Aspas with 2 brilliant kills and a 3rd to follow up towards the end. And then on top of that, being able to deal with those players, I mean, it should have been a very difficult situation for Leviathan. But the player quality, the game IQ, off the charts.
Exactly.
That is not one that you're going to be able to scrim, a spot like that.
No, I was just thinking that, man. I mean, from an individual basis, the reason why we highlight Aspas as potentially the greatest player of all time. Now, listen, for this year, that's yet to be decided. Champs, I think, is going to be the stage that's set that this team will be heading to, both of these teams, to decide potentially that. But at least the best in Americas for now. He's already lifted a trophy last year in the region. He already cemented that. And now he wants to build for himself a legacy. That right there is what he's after.
What a decision for Aspas as well this year to leave Loud, who lifted the trophy in Americas, the winners last year of our regional league. They decided to part from them, which had been such a winning roster, and go towards this international super team, take a new challenge, come in English, figure out how to work with a new team culture. Aspas went from ranked to world-renowned superstar on Loud, and now he's trying to have that same level of success and lift trophies with Leviathan.
different team environment. They've had their troubles, but for now, it's what it all comes down to. All the hardship, all the improvements. Cloudburst to counteract that one, but giving up the side of C. Fully up now for Leviathan. They're going to be able to get this plant down once more. Maybe a tap to bait something out, but no, Mazzino going for the full stick. The position is theirs, onto the side. Drone tags.
Do you want to go aggressive with the breach ult?
They do. It's a rolling thunder. It's already going to be queued up. Mazzino holding this one for a rainy day, and that's right now. Here, stunned up still. Covered by Icy. Wasn't actually stunned from that one, so it's quick to trade it out. Let's put a pause into that tempo increase by Lev, but maybe just enough, not quite. Aspas, that high ground, perched up. Angle swing from Tex again. Sky has got the confidence, but lines it up for Leaf. And Com now up onto the flank position. More than noted. Trent can stick this one with full safety. Acknowledgement that his team's got his back. There's nothing to push him back and away.
That 2K from Leaf could not be more important. As soon as you see Com going for the flank like that, you can see he's going to run into the alarm bot. So if Leaf stays alive, they're going to have that info. Leaf didn't just stay alive, he destroyed them!
Oh yeah. You're starting to see him come alive in this map. He's top of the scoreboard for his team, leading it. We've seen it happen with Leaf when he's on the killjoy occasionally. He will just take over a map for his team. He'll be that difference maker. Impactful frags right when his team needs it.
Absolutely. And a lot of the time on the defense by getting involved in fights you wouldn't expect. Trent flashed, missed the shock. A little bit of panic there. Lev setting their sights with only a one-round lead on the C site.
Again, what's the play here for Valen? There's a wall up. They've been giving this one up, trying to play the retake. It's worked for them so far. Same game plan. Drone used to try and clear out through. Valen even a bit cheeky with it here. Fault line stunned up as well. They're going to be wrapping around. I see. He's delivering them, at least potentially, to a win. Still, he's cleaned up, overextends his hands, and Comet side the smoke, trying to take that timing down to just King. With a dart to deal with, off to the side, just pokes out from the shield below. Okay, traces. They point out his position. G2 happy to spoil the party with that one. So 11-11 is where we stand.
A mirror image of map 1 on Lotus. G2 now the team on their defense side that's starting to come back into the game and find their rhythm. I felt like the attack side calling was going really well for King early on in this half. And now, individuals from G2 stepping up when it matters, getting opening kills. And there's an example. Valen picks up Aspas mid-slide. Not the kind of area where you expect Aspas to fall. He himself would have thought he was fairly safe there. And that is not what you want to see early on. You can't allow the frustration to get to you. We're only in map 2. This could be going all the way to map 5, as it did yesterday for King.
Your endurance is going to be tested, your ability to deal with rounds that just don't quite go your way. For G2 though, these ults have been earned. Hunter's Fury, Rolling Thunder, Deep Shock Dart. It's going to be breaking most of the initial util out and through as well. Leviathan trying to make this one feel like they potentially are squeezing, but it's committed in still. An offset again by that util. Now Ultimate coming in handy. The Rolling Thunder, it stunted the entirety of the push. Leviathan have no options now but to once more pause into the round.
How would King and Com recover this one? It doesn't seem possible. That opening gambit failed.
I see. Dash active, sees one, knows a second. It's closely behind. And like you said, Josh, how would they recover it? The chances were minute at best. 12-11, G2 now.
Overtime! Overtime! Mark my words.
They take the lead. They're in the ascendancy.
It's going overtime.
Economy flourishing.
And Leviathan going to
so different to earlier points in the game where it felt like G2 was on the back foot. They got the read now. They're in the rhythm. It feels like they're getting an idea about where they're going to end. And they're just setting up to ambush them with huge amounts of util. Icy too, finding his moments here. Up online.
This time he's going to be tested, but Leviathan are the ones who want to try and at least find a way to pay forward into this A site. Where's the defensive utility? It's flying up and over, sailing past. Leviathan are going to be given again easy access. The retakes have been working for G2, so why would you mix it up?
At the same time here, King, Paranoia, Bazino, Aftershock, these are difficult pieces of utility to get through. You've got to bait them out before you go for the retake.
I mean, it's got blow for blow, at least without you two. You need to at least make an emphasis, G2, to pull it out of them. Ice cold so far from the Viatan. It's a Paranoia. For a Paranoia, it's traded evenly again, but there's kills still flooding in as well. Players out of heaven. Com just delivering it again, straight to them. The feed is filled up entirely with red here. An inevitability that we go to OT once more.
Let's go, bitch. Let's go. Let's go.
Of course we're here again.
Let's go.
Neither team able to get an inch over the other, back and forth the whole time. G2 failed to bait out that post-plant utility. Icy committed off the first wave. There was no phase 2 to this. Perhaps just a hint of that earlier flustering that we were detecting within G2. They had a chance.
There's just one option.
And it slipped.
Losing, just spam it.
Now back to the reset here. 12-12, first round of OT for Haven. G2 will not want to let this one slip away. Going down 2 maps early in the best of 5. At that point, almost calling it curtains. It's a very rare feat indeed to try and battle back at that point.
Push down mid.
Yeah, this is going to be breaking at least that turret, forcing potentially that reaction once more out of G2. They are going slight amount of pace again, but the rotations are happening by Lev. They're already here.
This is where G2 need to pump the brakes, but in regulation time, we saw them commit over and over again. It does seem like they've just cooled off slightly.
It's a 5-player stack.
Yeah, but they're pretty confident because of these trips on the rest of the map, you know? Tex is giving them good information in Garage. Leaf needs to get a bit more aggressive and break that util. But I think he's worried because he kept running into Aspas earlier on.
Yeah. Leaf has not seen anything. Smoke. Nana Swarm dart into the back. They want to make this one feel like it's the B hit coming through. Again, it's just to pull players away, potentially to make the A side a little bit more easier. Leaf, timing! He takes it straight to him now, but they're not expecting that. Cut up into the corner once more, Mazzino. He's there, defending from the side. Valid has to respond, and does. Jonah P, up and through. Aspas, adjusting, movement, not enough to survive. G2 find the 13.
What a play, what a call from G2 there. Now that is what you're expecting from a player, Valen, who's been looking like the best attack side caller in the game recently. They make it feel like a B fake, but part of the B fake inserts Leaf into a tough position, and that lets them get into A and have a backstab happening at the same time. Even as Leaf only goes 1-for-1, the rest of G2 able to trade out on site. Hugely important individual kills to be had there. And Aspas couldn't go more than one in that position. Still having a much better Haven performance, by the way, than he did against Crew. And I think that's part of the reason why we're just dead level right now. G2 are going to take attack timeout to try to close this one.
Going to miss for them on the defensive half. Ever so slightly.
They had a string of retakes, though, where G2 were looking real clean. Yeah. And especially when Lev are not going to have any ults to work with on their attack side.
Yeah, I mean, what you're seeing, I think, is Lev defaulting into a very contacting play. Saving the util once they get onto the sites. And then once you're in that spot, you have util to be used again. I said it earlier, blow for blow, pound for pound, you can use it to equalize and just deny G2 from even getting in through the front door. So maybe that's part of the reason why timeout was called by G2. Maybe they want to adjust some of their game plan, not give up some of these sides so freely and try to play for those retakes now that Lev have made those adjustments.
Icy's picking up the glass cannon operator again, though. I don't think he's found too much value with this weapon. Lev tend to invest some of their refreshable utility early to make sure he can't get posted onto the most aggressive sightlines. Flash, stun, recon used, this kind of util is going to be back online. So it's not as important to save that for a post-plant situation.
Don't do it.
Haven't been too many B-pops by Lev, except when they've been on the weaker weaponry and at least regulation.
But it has been a spot that Tex has been going towards, so it might be that Icy is not really hoping to catch the full team, but just hoping that either he or Leaf can get rid of this lurker.
And one individual, G2. It's Valen onto the high ground. He's Making sure that he has control of that A short angle. They've got to be worried about the A pop as well from long. Lever setting up now for it. It's going to be util up into their hands. Kills could be happening here. Might see the feed filled up. Snaps to the side. That is just an unfortunate timing. And now a pivot. Utek's getting that kill. Valen's got nothing to do with it. It's just spotted out. Yes, Valen almost there with a kill, but not quite. Now getting a run on. Scampering their way over towards the C site.
30 seconds left.
Time is of the essence, though. Only 30 seconds left. Still, there'll be nobody from G2 to respond and at least receive this. No welcoming party. It will be potentially that easy plant. Leaf is eager to see if he can take that fight.
That was the last piece of breach utility used from Mazino. Both teams still holding on to Paranoia.
Survival in the map. It's necessary that Lev just hold on to this one here. Got an iron grip so far towards the back of the site, but that might just get dislodged here with the Paranoia straight through. It's a stun again. Jonah P. It's util out into the open spot. Maybe that flustered element playing a part. Tex has just dominated.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What a play. Another 4K for him in a huge round. It's got to be bittersweet for G2 looking across the stage and seeing a guy that you had so much camaraderie with just tear you apart in a round like this. Lacey did his best to try to hit the flick shot, but that's so clean from Tex to open and to close. We go again.
We go again. It's 13-13. The round's already beginning. There's a full group up stack from either side. They look like they want to clash. It's a skirmish opted into by either side. Revealed up. It's chaos. But who will thrive in the moment? Leviathan finding the advantages, finding the kills.
Bro, he's
up ahead
on
by
the
one player, but
flag
G2
one more time?
make full usage of it. Already lurking up into the spot, and they hear this drone in the clear, and Shona P. It just fades away! And the spray transit just cannot be completed. Mazino again, there with the trade. The plant, though, it's down. Rolling Thunder, this is to clear out the front section. Nobody going to be playing there still. Gives them that peace of mind.
Mazino's been so big in OT rounds for Lev.
And just catching this one. Barrel, betrayed by it. Trent didn't stand a chance. As Tex collects, it's up to Leaf. Dart out open, shots fired. Revealing all Leaf. Inevitable here. And he falls once more here. Leviathan. A 14th round, leading by one, but all they need is one more step.
The pressure is back onto G2.
Switching sides.
Tension between these two on stage.
I can't even imagine, bro. This is impossible, bro.
What a skirmish towards the bottom of short this was. I feel like any time you've got these chaotic situations, though, Mazino thrives. Sure, we've seen him misstep sometimes when he should be playing a bit more structured, but if you opt into his chaos, if you go into his dimension,